Welcome to iCast Summon Friends, and you'll see things have switched around a little bit today. We've got Vlad DMing. I'm getting to play as a player, get out from behind the screen, which happens once in a while. And we'll be doing
It's
a one-shot.
horrible. Don't look. It's actually just this part of his face floating in air.
It's just a wasteland out here. Welcome. So there's no backstory to catch you guys up on. Vlad will be taking the helm, so over to you, Vlad. I'll set us up with some general ambience music.
So, things will start off, perfectly normal for each of you. You all just, go to bed, as you do. Already forgotten names. Awesome. Bronzebeak in his, his tiny, it's not a particularly good inn, but I need to turn down rhythm. Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of tense for you. Go to bed.
Yes.
You go to bed with intensity.
Intensely.
We're just very angry.
Do you want the acoustic guitar instead? I can do the acoustic guitar. Yeah, I think that's more appropriate for going to bed.
We're going to have this music, and we're going to have the raddest sleep of our lives.
I'm happy with non-copyright harmonica music. There's a challenge for you.
If I can find it. Okay.
Yes.
For now, though, we'll have acoustic guitar. Sorry, carry on, Vlad.
But as you all go to bed as you normally do, in your own rooms. Bronzebeak, laying next to the door of a very cheap tavern. Quincy having a late day. Going to bed late. Later in the afternoon than he normally does. Aklan, doing his normal. Every day rituals, taking his clothes off, especially his headdress. Era in her small room, small loud room, and you all fall asleep perfectly fine. It's nothing particularly special, except when you all open your eyes and you are no longer in your beds. You are in fact in a different room with 3 other people. As you look around, there are 3 other people, and a small table with cookies and biscuits on it. If you guys want to describe what the other people see, that'd be great.
Yes, please.
Go for it. Right. I think you just volunteered.
Exactly.
Sure. Alrighty. Well,
Accessories.
Alrighty. Now, if you guys can't hear me, this isn't going to be how I'm going to play the game. Yes, boy. I know. It's a funny hat. There you go.
What smells, Mom?
Yeah, we can hear you. It's all good.
I actually... it was Halloween or something, and I was like, you know what? I don't have a big hat. And that was the real reason. So now I remember a time when folks made a living through good old hard work. Thing is, I ain't never been cut out for that. Farming, driving cattle. Can't rightly get that work done on account of my pale complexion. Been a hunter for as long as I've been making a living. Scares some folks off, what with the white hair and pale skin. Works just fine in my line of work, of course. Suppose you could say I was made for it that way. So, Quincy is a slightly above average height dude. He's like 6 foot. But you can't really see a lot of his features because he goes to sleep just pulling his hat down a little bit over his face. He's got a red necktie hanging over the bottom half of his face, and you can see just sort of the difference in skin color in that small amount of skin that's showing where it droops down. It's very, very white skin, and then like a hard santan the rest of the way. He's wearing clothes that seem to be fit for traveling through harsh weather. He's got a big woolly scarf draped over his shoulders. On top of a leather duster, he's got leather workman's gloves on. And he's got himself a very dusty, old. Oh, what are they called? The belts with all the bullets on them. Gosh.
Oh, bandolier.
Thank you. He's got a dusty old bandolier hanging across his waist next to where he keeps his belt. Leather boots with spider patterns on them. So he's probably an unusual sight for most of you guys, maybe.
Just to specify, you are not in the clothes that you would normally be in when you go to sleep. You are in your normal clothes.
Oh, okay. Not in my
Oh, well, that's also what he goes to sleep in.
Or no, but I just wanted to specify for the next person, especially like Acklen.
Okay,
Right.
all right, yeah, that is in fact also the clothes he goes to sleep in. So it's
Gross.
It's not
All
weird
right.
for him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You are-
Quincy needs to take a shower. PU.
Yeah, you are not.
That's
Go for
your
it.
opinion, and you're entitled to it. But I ain't here
One
to be
thing that-
judged, friend.
One thing I wanted to check, so is anything of the usual attire still by the bed as the people wake up?
There is no bed. There are 4 chairs in a small room with a small coffee table. There is a single door to the south. This is not the place you fell asleep in.
Amazing, which would put this pretty dark-skinned tan man, who's you can see a bit of sunburns from old times on his skin, but mostly the most defining feature of his rather muscular build are several bright tattoos. One of them is in glimmering green colors, going through both of his shoulders, covering not the shoulders themselves, but going all the way through the chest, connecting at a couple points at it, and on the back by the shoulder blades. And all of it seems to be done in brilliant green color. It's quite difficult to tell what it depicts. It's more of an, just angular ornament. And other than that, this man is wearing what seems to be somewhat tribal attire. So there is, an Indian or Aztec-like looking headdress, which the moment he stirs into consciousness, he immediately starts looking for. Other than that, he doesn't seem to be too close, so it's definitely no armor on him or anything. But yeah, that's Akalan. And as he wakes up, he finds the clothings, gets his bearings, and goes, "Ah, I'm used to be the one doing miracles here. What in the world are you doing here?"
Yeah, so unless you want to go next, Kath, otherwise I'll go.
I can go next.
Yeah.
So what you see is a very petite, small woman, about 5'4", 5'5". Like early 20s, with very long straight hair. They're black, but on the top she has a couple white hair, like just big waves of white hair just on top. That's kind of weird since she seems so young, and from the look on her face, she looks very naive too. She's got very big surprised eyes, pitch black eyes, with just a bit of paler color in it, so you see where she's looking, but not that much. You really have to look very carefully to catch where she's looking. She's a tiefling, so she has 2 big gazelle-like horns starting from her forehead and going straight in the air, twisting at the top. And her skin is very white, but with a hint of pink lilac color, and it's all over her body, but her horns are a bit darker, so a bit more purplish. She's not wearing any armor, just a regular brown dress with a gray large belt around her waist. Doesn't look very wealthy, but not like an urchin. Just some regular person being there. She's got pointy hairs too, just going out of her hair that you can notice seem to be cut at different places, so it's not very leveled. Like she's been doing her own hair or cutting her own hair at some places. In the back, it's very long, but around here, it's getting shorter, just in the back, and here too. So it's a bit icky from what you see, and she looks at everyone, each and every one of you, surprised on her face, and she just says, "Did I do it again? Have I been sleepwalking it again? Who are you guys? Did you bring me here? Are you you have to tell me who you are, or else... Are you them? Are you them?"
That's a lot to say as soon as you wake up.
And then
Well, she's barely sleeping all the time, so she thinks she just woke up and she's used to it.
sounds like you just described a lockdown tiefling. She's pale and got hair that she cut herself, and so we're just Gordon Lemps.
Coronavirus tiefling.
Yeah. So in answer to the questions, the myriad questions, there's this grunt. And a creak of protesting wood, the sheer weight that's sat atop it, and the fourth member of your party. So there's it's a turtle sitting there. He's got reptilian skin and eyes, clawed hands, and a colossal, rather chipped and scarred shell across his back. And he's dressed in pretty rugged, ragged, common clothing. The only kind of affectation to fashion being a leather tricorn hat, which seems to be lovingly varnished, albeit bearing more than one nick and tear. There's a round wooden shield that again looks cared for, but heavily used, at his side. That's imprinted with a twin pair of dragon's heads. And the other side is a long, twisting, almost like driftwood piece of quarterstaff. So, quarterstaff made from a piece of driftwood. Where his left leg should be, you find what looks to be some kind of solid metal-looking peg leg. And he doesn't seem to really mind that, though. And he's just sat in his chair and he's grunting and just looking blearily around him. What's happened? Oh, not again. And then he just looks over the strange group of people around him. Which of you brought us here?
Nah. Let me get this straight. And for Quincy's part, he wakes up, he's in a weird place. Yeah, okay. He looks at... Yeah, alright. He looks at the person, did you say? Indian style headdress. That's probably the most familiar sight to Quincy. Nah, you mentioned miracles. Turns to the tiefling. You're asking if you sleepwalked. And then to the turtle. And you're asking who we is and if we're the ones that did all this. Now, I figure, based off of all y'all's reactions and the fact that I ain't any wiser to what got us here myself, that none of us around this here table had anything to do with being brought here. Crosses his arms, leans back, looks at everybody. May as well make introductions, I suppose. Tips his hat to the tiefling. Ma'am, gentlemen. Name's Quincy P. Morse. Been making a living as a bounty hunter myself. I'd be much obliged if you make me aware of who it is that I'm finding myself in this here situation with.
All right, Vlad.
Oh? Yeah.
Yeah.
what's up?
Can you see me good, or is it just my monitor freaking out?
Yeah, you should see him. We can see
See
you.
you entirely fine.
You're good.
Oh, that's wonderful. Let's. Oh god, this is bad. How?
All right. Well, we'll do that. We'll do introductions while you're fixing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who do I find myself in this predicament with? Hi.
Well, hi. My name is
Ma'am.
Era. Well, if you're saying we did nothing to get here, I'm kind of relieved because I've been sleepwalking a lot lately, and I've been finding myself in very weird places with weird people, and well, I'm glad to meet you all.
And
Pleasure.
would pause
He
for a
says,
moment.
with confusion. Yeah.
I kind of looks all three of you, based on attire on the one hand, these are some strange people and non-people he's here with. None of you seem to, on the fancy side of things, though. Kind of glances. Well, am I the only one here of any stature then? Bounty hunter? Sleepwalker? An amputee, it seems. Well, it sure wasn't my job to get us here, but I'm sure we'll find a way out of here. Name's Akalan, by the way. I'm sure you've heard of me.
Beg your pardon, Aklan. Stature.
Well, you should know what I'm talking about, right?
Do I know what he's talking about? Can I make a history check or something? Do I know who this
course.
headless-wearing individual is?
Let's give a history roll. The first roll of the game.
Woo!
Yeah, calling out someone on their BS.
11!
Oh nope. Never
You
heard of him
haven't
before.
had a slightest clue of Akalan.
Which is kind of perfect because I'm like, nope. Must not be
Nope.
quite as important as you figure.
Oh, not to you, perhaps. Perhaps we haven't met yet. Still, let's get ourselves out of this mess. Then we'll
No.
figure out everything else.
Sure will, but there's one more member of our little hunted party here that I'd like to make acquaintance with. Sir? And he looks to the turtle? Question mark?
Turtle person.
Yeah. It's a big turtle.
Yeah, and he just sort of shifts slightly, and again, there's that protest creaking of words from the chair because he weighs. I looked it up actually how much he weighs. It's like in the
Like
hundreds.
400 pounds?
Yeah, it's like 470 pounds.
It's not in kilos.
At least 7?
It is at least
So there's a sort of grunt of amusement actually as Akalan was proclaiming his own self-importance. Yeah, I'm sure you're very important. And there's this sort of slow, plodding rhythm to his speech, as if he's fairly unhurried. If you've been on the seas, you'd know me as Bronzebeak. And he rolls the R. I can't roll my R's, but he does.
Bronzebeak.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we can all do it
Bronze.
except you.
Yeah, non-English speakers can do it, but
Hey, Bronzebeak.
There you go.
I can make my lip
Gold or Bronzebeak.
Bronzebeak. No bounty hunter or noble. Oh, and he just sort of squints over to a sleepwalker. More just a opportunist. And he seems to leave it at that.
Well,
Well,
and he'll wait a long time before speaking. And if anybody else speaks, he'll be quiet. So he'll look to Era. I'm not looking at the screen to remember your name. Don't worry about it. He'll look to Era and just let her go first.
Well, I don't know what to say. Well, we should maybe try to find a way to get out of here. I know some people are waiting for me downstairs.
Downstairs might not be where you expect it to be nowadays.
Give me a
And-
perception check, Era.
Okay.
I was about to ask to look about the room, so I suspect
Also,
the
give me a
same.
perception check.
Yep,
Yeah.
10.
23.
23. Excellent. The DC is in fact 10. It's a room that isn't surprising. So as Aklan and Era, look around the room, it seems it's small room. It's not particularly large. It's I don't know, 30 by 40 feet. But there's the four chairs that surround the small coffee table with the various food that seems to be slightly steaming. Looks fresh. The tea, in fact, is steaming. And there are a couple of tables and desks across the walls. There's no windows. The floor is stone. The walls are stone. The ceiling is wood. And there is a single door to the middle north with a sign, or not a sign, words, magical words that are kind of phasing in and out at a slow thrum that says, "Please wait to be seen." And there's a image of an hourglass slowly dropping down.
Is there anything on the desks themselves?
There is.
Okay.
There is a desk lamp, although oddly enough, while the light is on, the light doesn't seem to be coming from the desk lamp. It seems to be an ambient property of the room itself, just a standard brightness.
Ah, yes, natural.
Of course. There's a couple of loose papers, although it doesn't look like there is any words on the papers. In fact, do you want to touch any of it?
One moment, let me check if I can do something. No,
Said-
it doesn't look like it.
Said the mimic to the adventurer. While they're looking around, Bronzebeak is he's just raising his claws and he's just taking two and just scratching them down the length of his beak. And where they scratch down, there's this bronze light that lights up, and it just blossoms outwards into a parrot that starts flapping around. So this is Tasha's. You can now use a wild shape to make a familiar.
Well, I can safely say I ain't never seen a man do that before.
Ain't no man. And he just sort of grunts it out.
Fair.
Hey, can you skip the acoustic guitar to the next royalty-free music? Because I'm not allowed to.
Oh, yeah. Have you queued up royalty-free music? Lovely.
Yep.
Yeah, so Akalai would probably stand up, take half a step forward to the door, and clearly start reading the words from the distance, as if trying to impress that they're clearly visible from here. And he looks at the desk, approaches the lamp, and just holds his hand and just moves it right above the lamp, as a small flame starts flickering in it. It is the type of lamp that can be lit, right?
Yes.
So I'm going to use Druidcraft just to get a little flame going in it.
The flame does not catch. In fact, it doesn't. There's something certainly wrong. The lamp. It doesn't seem to be a separate entity from the desk. It seems to be one large lamp and desk-shaped entity.
I see.
And as you look on, the papers don't seem to be, a different thing as well. All attached.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. You said that it's the image of a, like an egg timer? What are they called? I swear.
Hourglass.
Yeah, okay. So it's an image of an hourglass, not an actual hourglass. And it's animated. The sound is following through the image.
Oh,
Okay.
So at that,
Sorry for not clarifying.
Yeah, he would pause, bring up from his side a similar lantern, which is shaped in the form of crystalline skull, wave his hand over that to light it up. Does that one light up all right?
Yep.
Yep. It flickers. It first catches up the warm, bright red lights. Then those lights turn into green. Sort of. They don't seem to give as much light as a flame should do, but it's just a dark greenish flame dancing in it. And just looks back, looks at everyone else, and goes, "Something's not right with that lantern. We best be careful. Someone wanted us here. I don't think they're going to let us go just that easy."
Well, of course someone wants us here. Look at all those beautiful cookies and tea. Hera just like giddy up to the table in the center and looks at it, not taking anything.
I'll take some, but I'll like lift my bandana this way to like sip underneath it, all coronavirus style.
Are you sure you should eat that? Like, I've always been told never like eat food that you find just right there without knowing what it is. You can get poisoned.
Yeah, he sips at his tea from underneath his bandana and picks up a cookie with his leather glove. That's probably good advice, Miss Sarah. Of course, I was also told never to waste resources. Good meal.
In Bronze
Chicken,
Beaches.
The tea is in fact not quite scalding. It's a little too hot. But it's good. And the cookie is a peanut butter snickerdoodle.
Oh.
So,
Well,
I think-
I hope you're not allergic to nuts, or else poison damage.
I have
didn't you read it in my backstory?
I have sincerely never had snickerdoodle. I have heard of it.
Yeah,
I have
I've heard.
had-
I know what the concept is.
Yeah, I've heard mention of it in cartoons.
That's
But-
adorable.
But that's it. I've never actually had one. It was from Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. So-
Nice. I remember
Nice.
that show.
Yeah, but yeah, no, Quincy's just good news though, man. Seems whoever our host is, they ain't trying to poison us. Not yet, leastwise.
Give me a con save. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, exactly. Like, Era just waiting a couple seconds, looking at her like super worried.
Yeah,
And
and while she's like pausing like that, there's just a grunt of amusement.
And when like she's sure it's all right, she just pick a couple and eat them, and like, it's so good. It's been a while since I've eaten these type of things.
You
Can't
get
say I've ever had one before.
a oatmeal raisin cookie.
Well, it's good.
Special request DM, can mine be a brownie?
Yeah.
So I think
Awesome. So then in that case, he's gonna look at his and go, can't rightly say I've ever had one of these before. My husband made me brownies.
Oh,
Question:
yes.
You say we appeared with like our usual clothes, but
Mhm.
have also our weapons. Do I have my?
Yep.
All right, that's good. Anyway, she sleeps with it, but just asking.
What's up, Sam?
I just be Bronze Beat going. If they wanted to poison us, or if they wanted to kill us, seems if they could get us here, they could have done it. Mage takes a handful of cookies, like 3 of them, and just parcels them in.
Mashes them into his face.
Yeah.
Era's
With
just
one
like
second
I'll
crunch.
crunch your cookie, and she's like, "Well, you're right. Let's get some more."
Well, that's all happening. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
So Akalan does not join the cookie business just yet. What he does instead is he brings up his lantern and almost, does a motion of just swishing around in it. And you can see a tiny whirlpool of that green flame try and almost coalesce in a miniature tornado that starts slowly inching towards the lamp on the table. And I take it that even when I use control flames onto that lamp, it does not catch flame, right?
It does not catch flames whatsoever. The oil in it seems to be entirely inert. Also, the 3 cookies that you eat are a fudge crinkle cookie, a Barbara White cookie bar, and a ginger snap cookie.
Yeah.
Would
He's,
much
have a
rather the
list of
session to be in the
cookies?
person.
weirdly, he seems to eats them like almost duck-like. So he just puts them in, just, oh, and just down, just barely even tasting them.
It's a shame because they taste good.
Yeah.
Duck like is my new favorite descriptor for a way to eat your food.
It's Homer
So while
Simpson
all this
style.
is happening, while this is happening, he's just gonna make like a loud from beneath his bandana, put his cup back down, and he's obviously not accustomed to handling fine china. Like it's not his thing, but he's not smashing cups either. Puts it down, rather uncultured in his manner. Gets up and goes to the table. And he's just gonna take a look at the sign, and it says, "Wait your turn, or you will be seen
Please
shortly."
wait to be seen. And the hourglass is almost entirely empty. There is a handle if you want to try it.
A handle? What kind of
Just
handle?
a normal doorknob.
Okay, so everything else is like an image, and then there's a doorknob?
There's an actual door. It seems to be a heavy, thick wooden door, with metal, not buttresses, metal support,
Okay. No,
riveted metal.
Quincy is not a rushed man. He is not hasty or eager. Very much unlike Will. And he will just stand there, hands on his hips. Just about like how much is left to the
Less than a
sanitizer?
minute.
Yeah, okay. So it's just gonna wait. Well, whatever it is that got us here, figure we'll be finding out about it in just a few seconds here.
Well, if I had to guess, what we'll have is a mimic. He just points at the lamp, which, despite his best efforts, has not even attempted to light up. Because I've seen these things in my travels, and this lamp is a fake. It's just a bait to get us all to touch it, and before you know it, we'll be turned to mush.
Well, I figured it's fake, seeing how it's all flat and all, but I appreciate the words of wisdom. And he doesn't sound sarcastic. He's genuinely being like, "Oh, thanks for pointing out that the drawing isn't real." Like he's actually thanking you.
Kara's just like mouth full of cookies.
Oh,
Cool.
cute.
Yeah, parrots just flying around, cawing loudly occasionally. Looking for. Yeah, is there anything? So there's a door, there's a desk. There's no other clear way out. And should we just stop
Nope.
waiting?
Parrot a cookie.
Give me an investigation check.
Okay. From the parrot or from me?
Let's go with both.
Oh, okay.
Can I feed the parrot a cookie?
You absolutely. He will dive bomb on any cookie offered. Like there's a lot of negotiation involved with this parrot. There's no stat block.
Gobbler's just projecting what it's like to live with his cat.
Just use Raven.
Yeah, right. I was gonna say there's no parrot stat block in D&D. What is this? It's like the trope of all pirates. -4 intelligence. That would be as good as Bronzebeaks. They both end up with a 14.
Cool. You do not see any exits out of the room besides the door. Everything seems to be actually sealed remarkably well. There isn't even any cracks in the foundation. It's just solid.
So Quincy, how are you offering a cookie? Because this is quite important. Yeah, just outstretched
Let's
up.
hold it up.
Yeah. So immediately just the eyes just lock on, and then just the wings tilt slightly, and just dive bombs downwards with a core of a victorious celebration. And it's just a grunt and you gotta watch out for the little beak. You'll have your finger. And the beak is like clawing down, biting down on the cookie, but it's coming narrowly close to your fingers.
I mean, I'll put my glove out as though to get him to sit on it, but it's a little bit clumsy while he's like eating the cookie.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you say your bird here was called there, friend?
Little Beak.
Beak don't look so little to me.
Little.
But, magic bird that came out of glowing writing on your body. Can't say I'd complain neither. I'm just very happily feeding the bird.
He's happily devouring whatever's offered to him. There's a slight like nod from Bronzebeak that you're feeding his companion. But cool.
As the
Good prop.
as the bird happily devours, the last sands of the image hourglass falls to the bottom. The image disappears, and you hear a click, and the door slings open away from you guys. It swims away, like quarter of a quarter of a centimeter. Yeah, sure. Give me a investigation check.
Okie dokie.
Well,
For the door specifically, or just the room?
No. The door, because I'm about to walk through it, so I want to make
Mhm.
sure I'm not
Oh, yeah.
to be immolated.
Yeah.
7.
7. Yeah, to the best of your knowledge, it is not trapped.
Cool. I'll walk through.
Cool.
Yeah.
Coming
let
through.
How
And
very
I'll
polite of you.
myself. Yeah,
Um,
Oh no.
Oh no, it's gone! Because I accidentally hit close instead of
Yeah,
minimize.
it's now giant calf. You are now the map.
I'm the map.
The map actually is calf.
I'm the final boss of the one shot.
It's true. Oh wow, everything is completely ruined.
Yeah, it's all good. I was ready for this, so I can switch to that in the meantime. And then we get to see everyone's various arts.
Yeah, I had been drawing one, but then I got called to a fire, so I didn't finish it.
Yeah, that's fair.
No.
Yeah.
You know,
Very
as far as
fair.
excuses go, this is among the better ones.
It's a reasonable excuse, yeah.
Nice.
I have evidence. I wrote his name nicely, but the rest is a pretty rough sketch.
Nice.
Well, even if it's a one shot, finish it and send it to us. I
Sure.
do see it.
Yeah,
Yay. Okay.
definitely.
So,
There we go.
As Quincy walks through, she comes into
Thank you.
comes into a large, much larger room. It's a library-like, various books. This is the best image I could find on short notice.
I actually really like this image. I've
Yeah,
used
yeah.
this before.
Books to the right. A massive, green swirling orb of magic that flickers through images of various landscapes and peoples, just like one right after the other. Behind the green sphere is a large desk in which sits a man. I'll describe him better once you get closer. But behind him,
I get
it
closer.
just goes on and on and on and on and on and on, as far as your eye can see. There is no horizon. It looks, in fact, like it curves up, just rows upon rows upon rows of shelves, interspersed with small pockets of landscape. You have a small forest right there. A small, almost looks like a volcano in the distance, and this goes on for tens of hundreds of miles.
I do wanna. Oh, sorry there, Ignis. I do want to walk up, but I'm gonna glance back to the people in the room and see if they're planning on coming through.
Yeah, Akalan would be following you just a few steps back. Honestly, he's a bit miffed that he has to follow after someone, but you walk past. It seems only reasonable for him to do as well. He hasn't touched any of the tea or cookies at all.
Yeah,
Well-
Bronze. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, go. Okay. Era was following closely behind because she likes Quincy. She like how courageous he is and honest. So she's just following. She still has some cookies in her hand, and she sees the room like, first cookies, then books. This is such a great day. Woo. And she gets like a bit excited and giddy.
The bookshelves aren't just filled with books. It has quite a few different. There are quite a number of books, but interspersed between them are items. Just any number of, not quite random, because they look like they have a very specific order. You'll see some of them look like weapons, some of them look like armor. Some of them look like very mundane things, like there's a cast iron pot just sitting there on the shelf and display.
Could I try and feel for any magical auras in the place? Well, aside from the obvious fact of a massive green orb right in front of us.
What's Bronzebeak doing?
Yeah, exactly. So he's while you're doing that and starting to feel out what might be around, there's another protesting creak of wood from the chair as he lifts himself upwards, and then you hear this sort of thump, clunk, thump, clunk. It's the metal peg like striking against the floor with every other step. As he follows after the others, and seeing that Quincy wasn't immediately immolated by some kind of trap, he's just following along like thunk clunk into the room. Little Beak flies up and is just circling around the ceiling, just lands on one of the chandeliers and just sort of investigating, just seeing if he can peck at the candles and things, see if they're real or if they're more just illusions and tricks.
They do in fact seem to be real, except the flames are not. It seems that there is a constant level of light regardless.
Okay, in which case he will grab one in his beak, rip it out of the sconce, and then fly down to try and bring it back.
What an evil bird!
So it's a bird.
It's not a cat.
And then fly down. But meanwhile, that Bronzebeak's just following after the others, like looking around. Why would someone bring 4, whatever we are, to a library? And he just, it's like somewhere between a dismissive comment and an actual question of like, if you can have all of this fanciful goodness, why would you bother bringing us here? And then he just locks eyes upon this mysterious figure at the desk.
The mysterious figure at the desk. The desk is large. In fact, the man himself seems to be large. As you get closer, he's probably 9 feet tall. But it's harder to tell since he's sitting down. Mahogany, of course, because why not? The man himself is completely hairless, with none on his head or even eyebrows or anything like that. A face that's creaseless. A light gunmetal gray skin, with a almost skeletal appearance. Gaunt. But the as the but the biggest difference is that before all of his orifices, his mouth, his nose, his ears, his eyes especially, they all glow with a lime green light that seems to be thicker than it should, that almost falls out of him as he looks you all over.
Is it a similar light to
Howdy.
the sphere?
Yes.
Okay.
And he seems to be staring intently in the sphere. However, while he's staring directly at it, he's scribbling on parchment on his desk without looking down whatsoever, with a speed that is inhuman.
Nature, did you have something you wanted to speak to him?
I didn't want to speak to him directly, but I did want to
You
just
want to
get a
check on that?
feel of the items around. Is there any obvious traces of magic aside from the orb?
Give me an Arcana check.
With pleasure. That will be a mighty 2.
Cool. No,
What?
no. The only thing magic in here is you.
Aren't you a wizard?
Fabulous. No, I'm not a wizard, but even despite that, it's that orb we see right there. No, that's just a trick. Most likely another mimic. On the other hand,
Mimics all the way down.
Can I also do an Arcana check?
You certainly can.
I'm just gonna go to Lou
He's
quickly.
entering, and she sees the things first before the man, so she would clearly like go right there. Oh wow, that's not so bad. That's not so good. 11.
11. Yeah. You have a feeling that the orb is magical, of course. And you have a feeling that at least some of the items that sit on the shelves are in fact magical. There seems to be a wavering to the air next to them. They seem to be perhaps protected by some sort of magic.
Okay. Okay. Are the books also protected by magic-ish? Do I feel something?
Some of them, yes. Most of them, no.
Okay.
The magical ones seem to be interspersed seemingly randomly.
Okay. Okay, sure. Well, she just like go through all the books and just walk around a bit like lightheaded, not really looking at our neighboring things, just to focus on the books around her. Does she see something very interesting, or it's just like random?
Give me a random d20.
Oh, okay. 14.
14. You find a book that it doesn't seem like interesting, but it is the economical account of a land that you haven't heard of, a city that you haven't heard of. It seems to be, a account of where gold is going and where it came from.
She was about like to take it and read the title on the side. Just like, oh, that sounds very boring. This is for something else. She just like turn her back and walk elsewhere.
So Quincy walks in. He's actually not particularly. He doesn't know about magic. He looks around and he's like, yeah, all right. Sees that the others have followed in. So he feels like, yeah, I should probably protect them. And he'll walk up to this guy. And he's looking cool as a cucumber. Very calmly just says, howdy.
Hello there. The man speaks. He speaks in a not quite monotone voice. There seems to be just a hint of emotion. It's slow and steady. Doesn't have much of an accent. When he talks, the lime green light spills out from him. Hello, Quincy. Welcome.
I don't remember giving you my name there, friend.
No worries. I know all of your names.
And suppose you're also the one what's responsible for getting us here. Imagine you'll be giving us an explanation as to why.
Simply put, I need your help. I have a delicate matter that needs to be fixed that I seemingly cannot fix on my own. You have been brought here to help.
I pause, lift my hat slightly, look at the others. What y'all reckon?
Well, someone who doesn't mind abducting 4 people from their sleep just to get their job done. Don't think we get much choice in this matter, do we?
You do
Mhm.
not. If you choose not to help me, your bodies will decay while you are no longer there, and you'll die in a couple of days. Probably dehydration.
Right.
Oh. Well, this doesn't leave us a lot of choices.
Well,
No,
if you
it does
ask
not.
that nicely. And I will just very quickly draw both my pistols and point them at him. I'm not accustomed to taking jobs and threaten my livelihood. If you had a job for us to take, I would have appreciated just being hired.
He does not seem to be entirely. He seems to be entirely.
Not impressed.
Yeah.
Like this is an expected
Unfazed.
thing to happen.
Yeah, entirely unfazed. Either he believes strongly of himself, or just I don't know, guns aren't really important to him. I don't know. Just he seems to be just almost slightly bored.
And you just hear the clunk thump as Bronzebee's making his way down towards the desk. And if we take this job,
Then I'll pay you handsomely.
how handsome. Vlad makes up arbitrary amount of gold for the one shot.
More money than you've ever made in your lives thus far.
That's going to be some difficult to match.
I have my collection, as you can see, is vast, and I have quite a few duplicates that I am able to give out in payment. No gold, of course, but items of incredible magical strength. It would help you, Quincy, for example, in your bounty hunting.
His eyes narrow.
Little Beak drops the candle into the green sphere.
Yes.
First it hits, and it phases through it, and then there's a weird tessellated image of the candle, like first 2 then 4, then 8 and 127 million, whatever. As it dissipates to smaller and smaller flickers, and then goes back to normal. And the candle does not hit the bottom.
Thing.
Yeah,
Let's not touch the green thing.
Yeah, so he's just gonna turn to look to Era specifically. Don't touch the green orb.
Well, of course. Even I know I shouldn't do that. Why did you do it?
Just,
I think it was his bird, man.
Little Beak's got his mind. And he just looks at Akalam. You up for gold, or not gold, items.
I don't like this deal. I don't like this deal one bit.
Me neither.
It doesn't look like we get a lot of choice. Unless... And he just lifts his lantern up a little, and once again, the same twirl of flame starts dancing in it. Unless we burn this whole library down ourselves and set the terms of this deal. And he just looks at the man, waiting for his response to that.
You got like Era in the back being like, "Oh, all the books, don't do that."
I think at that suggestion, Little Beak flies over to the books and starts trying to pull them out. Just throwing them on the ground.
He calmly says, if you attempt to harm anything in my carefully curated collection, you will be disintegrated. Is that good enough for you, Aklin?
I do the
May
thing
I
where
hit-
he pulls the little like trigger back
Cox.
just to be really prepared to shoot at this guy. Just thought I'd throw that out there. Go ahead, Aklan.
May I have an insight check to see, does he seem to be bluffing in any of his capacity?
Absolutely.
I think I would also be doing that.
Go, all of you can make an inside check if you want.
20.
20?
Yeah.
He seems to be entirely confident in his abilities to disintegrate you where you stand.
Hey, 18.
Same.
Yeah. I think that's the answer no matter what you roll.
So Akalan kind of, continues looking at the flame. It finally separates from the lantern itself just into a tiny mote of flame spinning around right above his hand, and she just closes it and it dissipates. Well then, I suppose it won't hurt us to hear what job you've got. And, we can always come back to this discussion later if you insist.
I, on the other hand, figure this is the sort of discussion that ought to be resolved right now. And he's speaking very calmly, even though he's got his what is presumably loaded pistols pointed at this guy.
Loaded and cocked.
That's what the word was. Thank
He's
you.
ready.
I don't actually know anything about guns.
Fair.
Yeah, you have to be American to do that.
Yeah, I did think of making the joke.
Look, this is an American on 4th of July. I am all guns.
Oh man, yes. Happy 4th of July, everyone. Have a cowboy.
happy Independence from Us Day. So, I think there'll just be like the tapping of Bronzebeak's claws against his shell as he's just considering for a moment. It's like, why? If you can do that, and he just mimes disintegrating all of us. Why bring us? What is it you need?
Go on, Era.
It's most like she's in the back and she just points and like, yeah. She's agreeing with what he's saying. She's like super excited, bit hyperactive, so
He calmly looks at Bronzebeak, specifically, and Era as well, and says, well, one of the specimens in my collection has broken free of its
So
hold.
he's ignoring me?
Sorry, you were saying
No,
I
because if
distracted
he's
him.
ignoring me, I'll shoot him. I just wanted to check.
The gun's getting cocked in his face, specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to be particularly concerned about the guns.
Okay, I'll point at a book and shoot it.
Not the books.
yes, not the books.
There will be a wavering of the air, and the bullet will kind of hit a hard light barrier that kind of flares up and goes slides
Claire?
off it.
Uh-huh.
That slides off it with some sparks and goes straight to the ceiling.
Okay, and then I will use my bonus action as I see that happen. And I go, And as a bonus action, I'll aim at his shoulder and shoot him. And
Cool.
when Quincy fires his guns, sorry, this is. I have a backstory. I know it's one shot, but
No, it's
Better
all
shoot
right.
some more.
My movements are mostly like Era's movements, like boy.
like it sounds like a gunshot. There's a shot being fired, but what's happening is every time he fires a gun, there's this little like psychic red dagger that just sort of spins on its own axis really quickly right above the gun before dissipating again, and the bullets don't actually leave any marks because he's a soul knife.
Right. So the knife kind of leaves the psychic knife leaves sparks on the shield protecting the book.
Cool. Yeah, and I'll try and shoot him in the shoulder because this, I don't trade with people threatening me.
How much health do you have?
Oh, God.
Oh no.
This is gonna be a real quick one shot. 45 HP.
Cool.
Disintegrate.
That's exactly what a big power word does.
my quickest death ever, and I've had a few.
Yeah. I don't even have
I really
Revify.
like Quincy, but now she's like, oh no, I don't like this person.
I could have prepped Revify, but I didn't. I was like, I won't need it at one shot.
I won't need it. It'll be fine.
The guy is threatening me. If he just hired me, it would have been fine. But he's like, do what I want or you'll be disintegrated. Well,
No?
man's gonna be disintegrated. Man's gotta do it on his own terms.
Cowboy logic. Quite literally.
Cowboy logic. L3 Li. No.
Actually doing so.
Cool. So the bullets will graze his shoulder. Sorry, give me an attack roll. Wow.
Yeah, okay.
Ooh.
I wasn't sure if I needed one.
I knew there was like something was missing.
Yes. Bite. Why can you bite people?
Very worried with that attack list.
Mm-hmm.
You attack.
True.
Oh, I just worked out your race.
Oh, I thought
Exactly.
I named it shooting irons. I named it revolver.
Oh, still pretty cool.
Ooh.
That's not right.
Apparently, I only do damage.
I only hurt.
Yeah.
Okay,
Cool.
Well, I rolled a 7, so with my bonuses, I think that's gonna be like a 14 or something small like that.
Not good enough. But let me look specifically at the.
It's like Neo. He just catches the bullet.
No, don't be silly.
Holds out his hand, and the bullet just slows to a stop in front of him.
It just gets redirected into the orb, and we are getting obliterated by a hail of millions of tiny bullets.
Yeah, it turns into 1,000 bullets.
In the meantime, so as Quincy fires at this man and at the books, Ackland's just observing it all. There's a faint smile. He definitely agrees with the actions. It's good to let someone else take the brunt
Let
of pain.
somebody else be the one in danger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the bullet grazes his shoulder. He doesn't seem to be particularly phased by it. He simply says a single word in a language that none of you recognize. I'm pretty sure. No, sorry. That Era recognizes. It is celestial. It is the word for fire. Make a DC 21 Dex save or take 22 fire damage.
I don't
Hellish
think
rebuke.
I'm gonna pass.
Oh, you're a gunslinger. Dexterity is what you do. It's worth saying Bronzebeak didn't. Did you actually pass?
Wow.
Nat
I got
20.
a nat 20, which means 28. Plus my stone of good luck because I'm a cowboy makes it a 29.
You
I'm just
still
gonna
take
derail
half
this
damage.
one shot in the first 10 minutes, shall I?
Yeah. Still half damage, but still good.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that I'm not one more level in Rogue. So how much was the damage?
11 total
Okay.
after being hacked.
So it's worth saying Bronzebeak doesn't even flinch when the gunshot goes off, as if he's used to just loud bangs. And he's just sort of just grunting in amusement as their theatrics play out.
What kind of damage was it? Sorry, was it fire?
Fire.
All right, so there's like he. May I describe it, DM?
Sure.
So he fires off his gun, just barely grazes this guy's shoulder, and as he rebukes Quincy, there's instead this really big flare of fire on his shoulder, and Quincy winces, and he drops the offhand revolver to pat down his shoulder, but he still seems fairly calm, despite there being an underlying of anger as he speaks next. Like I said, there ain't very much love lost between me and folks who'll try and threaten me. You ain't the first, and if things keep going the way they have, I don't reckon you're gonna be the last.
I showed, in all of my graciousness, I showed not graciousness, generosity. I showed
Graciousness is a thing.
Yeah, that works. That works. Either works.
I showed mercy for your
Mercy.
impotence. You may not want to attempt that again.
And there's this rumbling voice from behind, from Bronzebeak. He can just trap us, and if he can teleport us here, there's no point. Might as well claim our riches and be out of here.
Alan seems utterly unhappy with the whole predicament. She frowns. He looks at Quincy. He looks at the man. Goes, I don't exactly see why you can't get things fixed by yourself. But I reckon it's best if we do help you out, for better or for worse. What is it that you're after then?
Any more pow pow? And then I started blasting from Quincy.
And then I shot him.
And I
But
start blasting.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Straightens up. Summons his pistol back to his hand. Sheaths it. Don't rightly see
Exactly
much
that.
of a choice.
In fact, as you look at him, the small graze on his shoulder seems to heal up. It seems to mold back together, clothes and all.
Yeah, not much choice at all, which Flair as a player realized, but I didn't want Quincy to just roll over.
Of course. I mean, it was only a level 2 Hellish Rebuke. You'd be fine.
Yeah,
I was fine. I survived it. I could take another one like that. I'm not going to, but I could.
No, let's murder. Not this guy, the other things.
He'll look at Aklan and say, there is a specimen in my collection that has somehow freed itself of my control. This is, of course, impossible. However, yet it has happened, and I seem to be unable to locate it, which is also impossible. I need you you four.
Only the two of you. I decided to kill Quincy after all.
Yeah.
There's a plan.
And Brownsbeak isn't a real person.
No, he just holds up his
Alright.
hand. Held up his hand. He's like 5, and little beak just drops another candle. This time onto the books that he's been pulling onto the ground.
As the candle falls towards the books, it hovers in midair, completely stopped.
He lands on the candle.
It works. It works exactly as if it was a solid stone in midair.
Yeah.
A solid stone, except in midair.
Yeah.
I need you 5 to go find it. It seems to be eluding me.
I'm gonna very quietly wonder to myself if this means you're splitting the reward with the bird.
The bird gets a magic item, yes.
Yeah! He gets wings of flying.
No, he gets insignia of beak.
He gets the saddle of the cavalier.
Don't be absurd. He gets a wand of fireball.
I don't want to see what happens if Little Beak gets a wand of fireball.
So let's make a
Holly
compromise.
wants some revenge.
Exactly.
Let's make a compromise. It's boots of flight. Anyways, I think Akalan would kind of, look at him, regard, and then just almost repeat. So, something has escaped your grasp, disappeared as far as you know, in this place, as he sort of gestures to the distance, where, you can even see further than typically past the horizon. And you want us to find it here? Do you realize that that's going to take ages, centuries? Are you out of your mind?
No. I have several, I have a localized hotspot where things have been going wrong, to the best of my knowledge. Although, what specifically has happened is hidden from me.
May I have an inside check to see whether he does not know or he does not want to tell us.
Absolutely! Love insight checks, they're the best.
That's going to be 20.
Cool.
Wow.
He is frustrated. He's a mostly emotional. He doesn't seem to be particularly phased by a lot of things, but there's a hint of frustration in his voice that he does not know.
I see. So you're telling us that you know where this anomaly of yours is,
Yes.
because you know where it isn't.
there is a scene, one of my favorite battles in the Underdark. Things seem to have started there.
What do you mean? And there's genuine confusion from the Tortle who spent his life on the ocean. What an Underdark is.
He'll list off. Sorry, he'll say, "What do you mean, Bronzebeak? What information do you require?"
And just looks to the others. What is under the dark?
The Underdark is a geographical phenomenon that exists under the surface of Toril, inhabited by all manners of dark creatures, beholders to flumps to drow. It is an ecosystem all of its own, and quite fascinating.
And there's a quite a lot. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Era.
In summary, a very bad place.
And he just like nods in agreement. I don't like. Are you sure this is where we need to go?
It is a good place to start. I do not know if the problems still are there. They could have moved elsewhere in my collection.
And he just says this continually like grumbling sound from him. He's not actually saying any words, he's just grumbling until someone else actually speaks.
Didn't catch your name.
I am the collector.
Well, let's get it over with.
Would the name the collector be of any importance to
Give me a history check.
Yeah, and as they're doing that, you just...
Nat 20.
Nat 20.
Aklan, your rolls have been ridiculous.
Yeah, by the way, all
By
your
the time we
bonuses
get
are
to that
plus
combat, it's
0. I feel like that something's going wrong.
Oh no. It's exactly what it's supposed to be.
He is not what I
Okay.
thought he was going to be.
Yeah, the plan had changed.
Yeah, it's like, I might be a wizard. Okay. No.
Sorry, what's your total?
At 20.
Oh, cool. Yeah. You have heard of entities that you have heard myths and stories about things disappearing, about things being collected. Although you don't know if he's connected, it's hard to say.
I see. And if those stories... So those don't speak of any specific collector. It's just that someone might be at it.
Right.
Okay.
The name The Collector isn't a particularly, like... It's not a good name, it's a title.
Yeah, that's fair. A
So
collector, you say? Well, I can see how you earned that one. I still can't see how you can't find whatever little thing you managed to lose. Or how you lost it, for that matter.
Neither
Are you
can he.
Are you sure we're the right people for the task? Seems like you didn't have much trouble abducting who you wanted.
A very careful calculation of effort and the amount of disruption that other people would cause. You have been specifically selected for this.
It's just a grunt.
Yeah, still say you could have just hired me.
There's a grunt of amusement. And he looks at the others. He means no one would notice us being gone.
Quite.
I have family, all right. I have friends. I don't know about everybody else, but like I have people.
Yeah, I have two. You just assume.
I mean,
Yeah, but the turtle gets a little pat on the shoulder because obviously that's the case for him.
It
Oh.
doesn't.
I reached out with a glove and I pat him on the shoulder. Like, yeah, okay.
Well,
Sadness isn't important. He just shrugs. Basically, what he's meaning is that in the grand scheme of things, us disappearing doesn't matter. Maybe our family would be sad, but nah.
I mean, okay, I disagree with the pirate. That's okay.
Yeah, you're allowed to.
I don't know for every one of you, but like Quincy, I have people waiting for me. Very important. So maybe we could like take care of all this.
Yep, I'm ready.
Go back home very quickly. People will be worried. I think.
Some people will be glad I'm not around to bother them, but
Really?
I'm not interested in giving them that pleasure.
You
Let's
don't
go
say.
sort this out.
Well,
Yeah, Quincy's
I'm-
entirely unsurprised. People will be happy
Mr.
you're gone.
Collector,
Shocking.
Yes.
from do I know anything about the Underdark? Do you want me to do a roll for that?
Uh,
drink.
sure. But also explain what is your character's experience with the Underdark.
Well, she's read about it.
Sure.
Her dad like made her read a lot of things. Do you want me to roll for what?
History.
All right. 16.
16. Not bad.
Well,
Guys, I'll be back in
That's
5. Quincy's ready to go, but I gotta let the puppy pee-pee.
Okay.
Sure. Like, it might take a while to get to the Underdark, so like what she's about to ask the collectors. Well, is there a way we can get there quickly? Because I don't know where we are, but from what I know, it doesn't take like just a couple minutes to get there. We might lose precious time. Like I said, I would very much like to get back home very quickly. Got important things to do today.
He kind of gives a small smirk at Era and says that it is not an Underdark, it is a part of the Underdark that I've brought here.
Oh, sorry.
In fact, as you see, as you look out to the distance, you can see, various little pockets in between the shelves of environments of different ones. Jungles here, then a small bit of ocean that seems to be floating, a sphere of ocean. And you can see, various, things, creatures and whatnot frozen there.
Okay, sorry, I got a bit confused. You see, sometimes I start daydream, like seeing all those beautiful books. Maybe you will be able to give like quite a bit for me before leaving. I would very much like that. Like that magic item, books. But yeah, sorry.
Any other questions for Mr. Collector?
No, during that whole conversation, Little Beak's flown back up to the chandelier and is just ripping out candles and dropping them into the green sphere. Systematically. He's probably got
Sure.
about half a chandelier done now.
He doesn't. The collector doesn't seem to be particularly concerned, nor does the green orb seem to be damaged whatsoever.
I didn't expect that. Just being a dick.
Mhm.
But on the knowledge that they'll be leaving soon, Bronzebeak just holds out his arm, and you see it's like lizardy scaled arm. Come on, Littlebeak, and with a squawk, the parrot flies down to one of those books that have been dumped onto the ground. One that happens to have landed face up. Tries to tear off a small corner of it, of one of the pages, and then fly to him.
The Giz as the bird lands to the ground and attempts to tear into the book, the collector raises one of his hands and snaps, And what's the max dexterity for a raven?
Oh god.
So give me a DC 21 dex save.
Yeah, he's got +2. So
Okay, cool.
yeah, there's
All
a,
right.
there's a
That's time
10,
to make that.
it's a 10% chance or something. Nope.
Cool. He immolates, disintegrates into absolutely nothing. It's over in a tiny flash, and Little Beak is no more.
He just looks to the bird and then looks back to the collector. You realize you would have helped.
Yes, but the things in my collection are more valuable than, well, anything.
He just grumbles continuously until they depart, staring at him.
Era's just like, oh no. Well, I'm sorry, Bronzebeak. And she just like pat his like turtle back. It's okay. Like, maybe you can bring him back at one point.
No, I mean, he totally can. He's got one more wild shape. But are you patting him on the shell or on the flesh?
The shell.
Yeah. So the shell, it would feel like cold, hard, and it's covered in like scars and scratches and grooves. Give me a perception check.
Oh, okay.
Just as we're waiting for Flair, so I might as well flavour it.
15.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Judging as your fingers like patting on the back, and you can feel from the various nicks and grooves, a lot of them are from weapons, from swords, from spears, from arrows. This is a turtle that has seen a silly amount of fights and his shell has taken a ridiculous amount of damage. Although you don't know how long. I hate that turtles only live to 60. It really annoys me.
Mm-hmm.
It makes zero sense.
It's like turtles live to like 300 or something ridiculous. But yeah, I don't know how much you know about turtles, but he seems to have taken too much damage to still be alive.
Well, when she was speaking to you about like your parrot dying,
Mhm.
she, like there's something wrong in the way she's saying. Like she's sorry, but it doesn't look like it affected her that much. I'm sorry, and she just like look at your shell, touch like all this scars, the marks, and on your shell, just like, oh, well that must have hurt.
He just glances back and look. Familiars don't feel much. He's just choosing to think you're talking about the parrot dying.
Alright. Well, anyway, maybe we should get going now.
Maybe we should.
I'm gonna wait for Flair to come back because
Yeah, of
has
course.
something.
Yeah, I'll take
Yeah,
that.
let's-
I'll take the. Well, I don't need the loot yet, but I might as well go now while I should.
Akalan kind of just takes a
You're
few
right.
steps in the general direction and goes, oh, yeah, sorry, it's just you and I then.
Mm-hmm. Just the two of us. We can make it if we try. Just the
Just
two
the
of
two
us.
of us. Oh, yeah. Anyways, Akalan would take a few steps away, look back at the others, just kind of glance back, forwards. No one else seems to be moving right away. So with that, he would pause and try and reach out for one of the books, just to see if the collector is ready to stop him just from taking a look at them.
Nope. Which type of book are you looking for? Because there's a lot of types of books.
Is there anything about gods, divine powers, and such?
Yeah. Give me a investigation check.
5. Now it's
5.
more like it.
No. You see a lot of things that range from, just historical fiction to nonfiction to romance to everything in a million different languages, most of which you don't recognize.
I think you would just pick a random book in that case, just to take a glance at it.
It's a nice book. Seems to be a little dusty. It is about a fiction book of a fairy tale about a large about a trio of farmers defending themselves from a giant, as far as you can tell.
He flips it open, has a look, checks the back of the book to see if there's a short description of the tale. He places it back, just kind of looks at the collector.
When did that start? I want to know, actually.
A bit dusty. I expected you to take better care of your things.
It's critiquing his collecting. Alrighty.
We cannot see your lovely face, by the way.
I can.
Whose lovely face?
I can too.
Only you can't.
Weird. Okay.
Interesting.
Howdy, Quincy.
Oh, such
Hey,
a nice
man.
puppy.
He's the best. Who's a good boy? Yes, and I love you.
You
Sorry.
can do the same to
no,
mine,
that's
but you just
wonderful.
ignore me.
Yeah. As you go to leave, he reaches into one of his. He opens a drawer and carefully selects a handful of coins that he sets on the desk in 4 piles of 3 of them. He looks to each of you. These should assist you should you require it. These allow a temporary reduction to my time magic that allows, my specimens to perhaps assist you. One of these will be required for whatever has escaped, so you can bring it back under my control.
Interesting.
They can either turn on or off his time magic.
I'm sorry, they can either turn on or off what?
His time magic.
Time magic. Lovely.
Mm.
Well, we all ready to get going?
As ready as 1 moment. And then he just drags his claws back down the beak to re-summon the familiar that he just disintegrated for trying to tear a page out of the book. So now the parrot blossoms out of his beak and starts squawking and lands on his shoulder. On his shell, actually, sorry.
Now, Quincy says, well, I can honestly say, I've only ever seen a man do that once before.
Still not a man. And yeah, ready to go.
Takes more to be a man than having flesh and bones there. I was gonna say properly, but Quincy's kind of American, so I don't think he can say bronze beak. Bronze beak.
I love it. And he just gives a nod. Depends what he
I'm
means
ready.
by a man. Let's go.
I'm sorry, dude. Say again.
Let's
Yep.
go.
Depends what you mean by a man, but yeah, ready to go.
Likewise, scooping up the coins and off to the journey.
I reckon, friend, speaking to bronze beak, we'll be finding out.
And he just grumbles continuously until they go.
Yeah. So, the collector will point a long bony finger towards a direction, as you towards the Underdark area. And as you guys start, walking through, while the collection in the antechamber was mostly books and items, as you get into the areas, it's interspersed with pedestals of creatures and people that seem to be entirely frozen, incredibly lifelike but frozen, of all sorts.
Lifelike, yeah.
Very lifelike, but frozen.
Like,
Just stopped in time. And as you continue, it's not a short walk. It's
Well,
good.
before we leave, sorry,
Sure.
since it's not a short walk, I don't want to get like a mile down, then turn and say my one-liner to the collector.
Yeah,
Just,
go on.
yeah, just as we're heading off, I turn to him, narrow my eyes. I think you'll find most folks would be more agreeable if you just ask for their help, rather than blackmailing folks into it. Just a word of advice. And that's it. I realize he's probably not going to answer me.
No, he
What?
does. He just says a single word of noted.
Yeah, clearly he cares very deeply for my opinion.
Mhm.
Not
Yep.
carry on with the others. As I get closer, I let Era go first, indicate for her, ma'am. And that's it. I follow.
Okay.
It's an interesting atmosphere in the collection as it sprawls out for miles and miles and miles. The air is stale. It doesn't feel like it circulates too terribly much, but it doesn't have almost any like smell or anything to it. The
Can I ask,
yes.
what is how do you pronounce your character's name there, Nature?
Akalan.
Aklan. So I want to ask Aklan, because we are walking for a while.
Yep.
Noticed you were summoning up small feats in nature there, Aklan.
Flame, water, they're all under my will if I need them to be.
You don't say. How's it you managed to do that?
Well, a little of magic, a little of ingenuity, a little of force of will, just making sure that the universe looks the way it's supposed to. Though I must say, in this place, it's all a bit wrong.
Wrong. How's that?
Yeah. Well, there's that guy over there deciding who comes in, who dies. Poor little beak, it seems. Though we've got another one.
Yep.
I'm not a huge fan of having a master above me.
Yep.
It seemed
Can't
like
say
you
I'm too
knew that.
thrilled for it either there.
Indeed.
Of course, y'all might have noticed my rather foolhardy effort to alleviate myself from his employ.
I did.
Didn't
Quite a
work
strange
out
lightning
quite.
rod you've got there, by the way.
Oh, yeah, it's rather unusual, far as I know. Bring up one of his revolvers. It's got one on each side of his waist, ready to draw them out. It's a handy little skill of mine. Doesn't leave no marks. Holsters it against. Damn this thing.
Sounds useful. Especially for one of your vocation.
Yep, that's right. Might say I was naturally inclined for my line of business.
I suppose you could say that. And just as a note, when he mentioned your vocation, there's, he kind of stresses that, but it doesn't seem like he's pitying or looking down on you for it, but it is something on his mind for a fact.
Okay, interesting. Yep. Ain't nothing wrong with the rounding up folks who wanna hurt others and making sure they get their dues. Can't say I mind it much.
Seems like a good job.
And
So you're still taking orders every day. Who to capture, who to let go.
well, I suppose you could see it that way. Of course, I get to choose my own bounties, and as long as I get my job right, means I don't get killed and I get fed.
You get to choose your own bounties, you say. Well,
Yep,
I suppose today is the first one for both of us then.
you got that right. And what about yourselves? He looks to Aklan, Era,
Yeah, I didn't want to interrupt you guys. I think as you were talking about your about that, you were just taking a moment to just extend a claw forward and it would just poke you in the center of the back. I think Aaron and Bronzebeard are walking behind the pair of you, just pokes. But there's what Era would see. You two were too engaging in conversation, I think. But what Era would see, there's just this ripple of turquoise light that goes down the length of his arm and coalesces along that claw into the tip as he taps, and it's just a cure wounds level 1.
Yay!
Nice.
Just to help out with the hellish rebuke that you earned. You thoroughly earned. Can't remember actually if there's a verbal component to cure wounds.
Yes,
whatever,
there's
it's fine.
one.
Yes,
You grunt.
there is.
It's okay.
Yeah, no, you just, it's a grunt. Exactly as you say. It's a numpty, and just it's a
Numpty.
barely articulated
Oh.
numpty to it. And yeah, you gain. Let me cast it up. You gain, if my computer can keep up with what I'm doing. Cast cure wounds. There you go, 7 HP. And then
That
you.
can't be right. Oh no, it is. You rolled a 2, nothing.
Yeah, I roll terrible. So you get pitiful amounts.
That's fine.
But I was most of the way.
4 off of max. It's
Yeah,
fine.
exactly. So, and with that, you turn to Arrow and say, So you don't know the Underdark either.
Well, I've never been there. Just read about it. Just terrible, terrible things you can find there, and like it's just a safe place. And I've got enough on my plate to like just add some more of that icky stuff. But I mean, we don't have many choices. We have to do it, or else we'll just die. And well, that's not something I want to do. Die. I'm liking myself alive. But anyway,
And this,
I will have to go carefully and look around us, just to make sure nothing's falling, or
You-
like looking
Give
at
me a
us.
perception check.
Oh,
yeah. And while you're doing that, despite the complete lack of an eyebrow, he has no hair. You can see the scales rising as he just rises the eyebrow.
it's 10 for my perception check.
Cool. You are entirely unaware of something following you. Whether or not it's there, it's hard to say. You know, a lot of things follow people that aren't visible.
Well, yeah, I'm used to it, but I don't know if it's just myself or if it's really there, so you'll have to watch out for us, And when she says that, she looks all around, but she looks very nervous. Like,
Yeah, can I also look around at those words?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I think.
Everyone, perception checks all around.
There you go. I think.
23. No,
Wow.
24. I keep forgetting
Wow.
about my stone of luck. I rogue.
Yeah, I mean, you win even though you don't have the best mod, but you definitely win.
like, you should never ask me to look around. Just piece of
I think
information.
we have not wisdom-based characters here.
You sleepwalkers. Why do you sleep? And he's a bit too distracted asking about sleepwalking to actually be paying enough attention to his surroundings. Whereas Quincy apparently was paying perfect attention.
Well, I got stabbed in the back with a claw, so and then she's going, I'm not sure if it's following me. So the bounty hunter kind of goes, right. And he gives a good look around his surroundings at that. Suddenly feeling better. He's not sure what's happening.
As Quincy looks around, there is a just wobbling in the air of it looks like a sphere. In fact, looks like the green sphere that was sitting in the middle of his antechamber. It appears for a quarter of a millisecond and then disappears, and it happens a couple of times.
He narrows his
Does it
eyes.
reappear in the same spot?
What was that?
Does
No.
it keep following us, or does it just...
It kind of just appears and then very quickly disappears and appears at a different spot, then appears at a farther different spot.
CCTV.
Okay, so if what's my intelligence? My intelligence is a 14. I feel like that's a reasonable thing to assume is his eyes that reflect the light off of his bandana narrow. He looks to the others, and he's gonna start off with you. Did you do that there? I can't. I'm trying to pronounce it wrong because he would. Did you do that there? Wrong speak.
Has he seen it? I don't think he has.
Well, no, I'm asking about the healing.
Oh, the healing. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's my job to take back the mistakes others make. Yes, I did that.
Well, I'm sure thankful for whatever mistake you're paying back. If you guys see my camera shaking, it's because the puppy is still not figured out what the dog bed is for, and it's currently rocking the entire desk by thrashing around. So I apologize for the mild earthquakes.
You're good. You're good.
That's so adorable.
He's just underneath my desk with the bed, like. "Arr."
Yeah. Whereas my cat
Anyway.
is just nah. Yeah.
No,
So
not currently. Yeah.
and you just
And
You're
Odin, for
welcome.
example, is sitting in his own bedroom on his own bed.
Oh!
like a good dog,
Oh!
as he
Which
should.
also casually
Baby.
double says your bed, I assume.
Yeah, is it your
It's my
bed?
guest bedroom.
Oh, okay. It's,
Yeah. Go on.
You're welcome.
I
Is-
thought you were gonna say more than that and shoveled a mouthful of brownie.
No, it's Bronzebeak. He doesn't say much. He just he just sort of grumbles for a while, like staring, like, you're welcome. And then he just turns his attention back
Excuse the slight
Good
mess,
task,
but
yeah.
there you go.
to the task at hand of
Yeah, and go on.
no, the task at hand of searching for danger.
And at that, Quincy is gonna point out. Seems our unlikely source of income. Keeping an eye on his investment, meaning us. He points out the last place the green blob looped. I figure there's something familiar about that green light there. So, if the threat of imminent destruction wasn't enough to keep us on track, just gonna keep shaking my camera. If the threat of imminent destruction ain't enough to keep us on track, just know that running off probably ain't the wisest of courses at this point.
He just again. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Akalan.
So Eklan kind of looks at you. then starts inspecting the air above themselves. Probably spots one or two flickers. Probably not quite catching that it's an orb, but something has been going on. And he just looks back at the group. You know, this collector lad, he is hiding something. He can't track us. He can't tell us where the anomaly is, but he knows where things aren't right. He can't go with us, but he's watching us.
I suppose that if we're able to find whatever it is that he needs, he's gonna be making sure that he gets it back.
Yeah, exactly.
Ezra, what'd you do for a living? If you don't mind my asking, ma'am.
Is that directed at Declan?
Ezra, what
Huh,
do you
no,
do
sorry.
for a
Era.
living?
Era.
Oh, I can't read cursive.
Yeah,
So
no,
every
the
time-
text is super weird.
Sorry. Era, what do you do for a living? If you don't mind my asking, ma'am.
Well, it's been a couple years. I've been here and there, taking odd jobs, meeting people, researching a bit. Like, I used to do a lot of research with my dad, but when he died, didn't have nowhere to go, so decided to just use my talents for something useful, at least. Try to control them, and getting a bit of money just to survive and have somewhere to sleep. That's important too.
Sure.
And she's like, she's looking above your shoulder as she's speaking, not directly into your eyes, and looks a bit nervous about it.
Inside Jack.
Sure is. Sorry to hear about your paw. And he's like, what the hell is this chick looking at? Sorry to hear about your paw. Seems like a librarian. It's a decent enough vocation as any. And that's how he interprets what you said. And he'll go ahead and look at Ezra and ask the same question next. But I see you've made an insight check there, Bronzebeak.
Yeah, I was just, as Era is sort of awkwardly not making eye contact, and because she's walking right next to him as well, it's quite obvious that she's not doing that. Just staring up at the ceiling. He's just trying to work out how much of that is like a copper story versus just her being uncomfortable.
Well, you've been walking beside her for a while now, and you've noticed that she's very there's always a bit, she's shaky a bit. She is always looking all around her, and she's humming for no particular reasons. Not talking, but just...
Dude, your character sounds like a complete crazy, but I love her.
Yeah. Absolutely
And
crazy.
Since the beginning, the only eye contact she made maybe with you for half a second, because right after looking into your eyes, she just turns it above your shoulder. She does that all the time.
Yeah.
And now, especially that Quincy's talking to her, it's more of this, because she's having a conversation with someone but just cannot look into their eyes. But she's happy and giddy and everything, so she's not scared. It just seems like
she's just crazy.
Just scatty.
She's cool.
I think scatty is the word. So it's not necessarily she's lying or anything. She's just a bit all over the place.
Yeah, exactly. Well, in her voice, you don't sense any lies.
Mm-hmm.
She said oh, my dad died, so I just tried to find a job, and she's not looking like she's trying to hide something. She's just terribly honest and scared, like you said. Just nice, but maybe she's hiding something, but it's probably not anything bad. Hiding her past to you, and she seems quite happy you're asking, and I got some talents, and my dad wanted me to use those talents for good reasons, so we worked on that, tried to control it and make use of it. But when he died, and I decided to try to keep going. He would be very proud of what I'm doing right now.
And Quincy interprets that as librarians a fine job as any.
Well, you saw her getting all like super happy with the book, so that could make sense.
Yeah, you've been reading, you worked with your dad. Yeah, librarian. That's what Quincy thinks you do. And he will turn to. I can't read the cursive. Nature is this character.
Akalan.
Yes.
Aklan. I'm gonna just write them down on my own.
Yeah.
Aklan. So he turns to Aklan and it's like, what do you do?
Well, nowadays it's just a bit of studying, a bit of odd jobs just to keep myself fed and clothed.
Sorry, how old does Aklan look?
I'd say somewhere in mid-30s, maybe about 30. He's definitely still in his prime strength-wise and all, but
Okay,
not
but
exactly
because
a
he
young
said
kid.
studying, that's why I'm asking.
Yeah, no, he's a bit past the student age. But
Yeah.
there he goes. Yeah, it's been a rough last year or two. You used to have a bit of a better life. Nowadays, I take what jobs I can.
You a working man?
I'd rather not be, but life sometimes forces you.
Yeah, kind of got that impression from you, to be completely honest. Not quite the same sensation I got from our friend Ron speak here. What you do before you was forced to make a living like most people do.
He kind of just snorts at that before you used to need to work. Oh, kobolds aren't the smartest of beings. I had managed to convince a bunch of them I'm a god. It was an easy life.
Sorry, Aklan is human looking?
Yeah, he is
Okay.
very much human.
So, it's hard to see that Quincy is raising his eyebrows at you, what with the hat and all. But there's definitely a pause. Uh-huh. Don't suppose you had a similar story there, Bronzebeak? Convinced anybody you're a turtle deity?
And throughout his conversation and anything he talks about, there's this percussion of the stomp and then clunk of either way. It's very heavy because it's 460 pounds hitting whatever's hitting the ground.
I don't know what that is. I'm gonna convert it to kilograms.
It's a lots.
It's a lot
North
of
of
kilograms.
200.
It's about 7 times my weight, I think, or something ridiculous.
Wait, that doesn't check out.
No,
No, that's about triple your weight.
208 kilograms, thank you.
I don't know.
Now convert that
That's
to
two of my little
stones.
brother.
Yeah, the stones I don't understand. That is
Yeah.
mystifying.
It's 33 stone. So yeah, okay, it's more like triple.
It's 33 big rocks.
It's about triple my weight, and that's after I put on weight. So anyway, he's clunking and stepping down the corridor, and he just turns his head towards Quincy and is like, "Opportunist on the waves." And he just looks to Akalan and says, "Have you ever been on the ocean?"
I like to avoid it, to be honest, though I could see how life over there also offers opportunities, let's say.
Best avoid it. He just gives like a knowing nod, as if you are the right decision to avoid the ocean. And then he just carries on clunking forward, and then it's like a good second of silence while he's doing that, and then he just looks back to Quincy and is like, "No work. Some work harder. Harder
Well,
We all work harder than. And he just looks at Akalan. Some. And he just carries on, stumping forward.
I figure it ain't my place to judge. Gives a wise old nod to that one. But, with skills like yours, I'll be glad to have you along for this fool's errand we're on. He takes a short opportunity to tilt his head to Era a teensy bit. Sorry about my eyes. Just apologizes and lowers his hat a teensy bit as he walks.
What's wrong with your eyes? All right.
Looks at her with a little bit of confusion. Why? I mean, it's probably the first time I've heard him a little bit off kilter, but he recovers fairly quickly. I figured that was the reason you weren't looking at me. Being scary looking and all.
she just like chuckles and she's like, "Oh no, don't worry. I've always been doing that. It's just."
You find me funny there, ma'am? Like he's not sure if she's laughing at him or not. That ain't the reaction he usually gets.
No, I can try to look at you in the eye, but people say that it makes them uncomfortable usually, so I don't do it too much because I don't want people to hate me. Just
Aww.
it's just like force of habit. But if you want me to look into your eyes, I can. And she just turns her eyes and she stares at you, and like they're wide open.
Cute! Yeah, and like I thought this before, but Era actually looks a little bit like Quincy because he also has very like from above the bandana on the little line you can see where it drops that he's got extremely pale white skin, white hair, his albino eyes that reflect the color of his bandana. And he looks at her. He's a little bit surprised. He's obviously not uncomfortable by her gaze a lot, and in fact he says, "Well, that's funny. Worth laughing, maybe." Crypto, stop it.
He does not say that.
It's just that, like, from underneath the desk, he peeks his little head up and he goes, trying to get the little dog bed again. It's driving me crazy. I don't usually take care of him when we're playing D&D, but Jamie's working. He had to look after him while I was at the fire. Anyway, sorry. He tells Era, that's kind of funny. That's what most people tell me about mine.
Oh, really?
I figure we're a little bit more alike than you think. And he'll pull his bandana down, and it's really white skin. And the only part that's got any color is this band around his eyes, because that's the only part out of the hat and bandana. So he pulls it down, and you can see just this really, really white skin, white lips. It would probably be a little bit disquieting to look at because he's got albinism, right? But he compares himself to Era and he says they're kind of alike. Gives her a nod, goes to pull it back up again.
She gives like the biggest smile, like someone saying to her that they're alike. She's like,
Yay!
Like, excitement on her face, and just small clap of the head, and like, oh, all right then.
Quincy's a little bit embarrassed. He blushes slightly, but he just tilts his hat and he keeps going. Yep, same reason my eyesight is not so good after sunup. Perfect any time after sundown, of course. It's on account of these peepers. One good thing I got from my mother.
I got my eyes from my mother too. Another thing you gotta like.
There you go, Miss Sarah. We sure are alike.
Great.
I'm ready to finish walking down the hallway now that I've gotten my role play.
There's a slow chuckle from the awkward flirting. That's how he's perceiving it anyway.
I was gonna say, is it flirting? Okay.
No, that's how Bronzebeak perceives it.
What is it?
It's a guy talking to a lady. For a sailor, that's flirting.
A man talks to a woman. There's
Flirt.
only one thing that can mean.
Exactly.
He did say we're a bit alike and
They
said
are.
Yeah.
it's easier. So like
It's everything he would have picked up from that conversation. It's like, this is a smooth man trying it on with an innocent lady, and he approves entirely.
That's amazing. Well, done with this one shot. I've gotten what I need out of it. Let's go.
Yes.
bye.
Kiss. Yeah. No, sorry. I'm ready to continue going down the hallway. Stop it! Every time you do that, every time you do that, all I think is fight. Kiss.
Exactly.
Kiss.
Fight.
We'll see how it goes. We'll see.
Exactly. Let's just see how many times Quincy saved Era's life. Anyway, Vlad, over to you.
Right. So as you guys walk, you mostly walk through the various rows of books. There are several. You can see the a small section. Not a small, sorry, a large area in the collection that looks like it would be what you would recognize as the Underdark. You can see, stalactites floating from a fake ceiling, so just kind of like floating down, stalagmites going up, giant mushrooms growing, but you can see that some distance in the horizon, and it's about a half an hour long walk towards it, and on the way you pass by several other dioramas. One looks like a savanna. You can see various large and small animals.
I can see my house from here.
You can see rhinoceros,
Sorry, I interrupted
gazelle.
I apologize.
No, you're good. I love it. Gazelle, all that stuff. It's a bit more, especially Quincy would recognize this. The dioramas are a bit more filled of animals than an actual environment. More for show or display of the various specimens. And you also pass by a very bad looking place. It's a hellish dimension filled with various demons all frozen in mid combat, demons and fiends. But you both avoid those areas because we're running out of time. And as you walk through the Underdark, you also pass by quite a number of just singular things. Just a pedestal that has a singular person or a singular animal, but most of them are people of various ages, all frozen with various expressions. None of them seem to be happy expressions.
Yeah, do I have any idea what might be done to convert those people back to what they were? Because that's exactly what Quincy thinks this is. He thinks that this is a Gorgon-esque kind of effect. I was trying to think of it in English.
Time zoo.
Petrification. Make an Arcana check.
Yeah.
I will try.
So anyone that Bronzebeak sees as a good candidate for his coin.
What type of NPC are you looking for? Because there are a lot.
So I'll let Quincy go first, actually. Before I interrupt.
I don't think you need to. I get a 9.
Oh. Okay. Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah, you're not entirely sure. You have a feeling that the closest thing that you saw is when the candle was falling towards the book. It just froze in time, and you have a feeling that that's something similar.
Go ahead, Sam.
So yeah, I'm walking through and I'm seeing these various strange sights of what seems to be battles and people and things frozen. I'm looking for someone who looks like they would be quite heroic. Someone who'd gladly throw themselves into the line of duty and help.
Stares at Quincy.
As you don't see anything. All of the things in the savannah seem to be far too wild. And all the things in the hellish dimension don't seem like they would help you.
No, absolutely not.
But as you're walking, you see a halfling. A short, sandy, blonde hair, with a large shield on one hand and a spear on the other, kind of, stuck in the position of, going to, to stab forward.
So I just turn to my compatriots. It seems like a useful meat shield.
Quincy just comes out and says, "That little fella."
I need to think of a name.
I don't think he is. Look at him. Hasn't got muscles for his size. Hasn't got size to be useful.
Nah, don't
Yeah.
get me wrong. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Finish.
No, it's just. Do you reckon he's a mage of some sort? If not, I don't think it's worth bothering with him.
Yeah, Quincy, tucks his thumbs into his belt, leans back. Now, don't get me wrong. I ain't saying the fella ain't useful, but Bronzebeak, he specifically said meat shield. In my experience, that's the bigger folks what fit that description.
It's almost. That's okay, Dara.
That's a pretty small meat shield.
Just this sort of grunt of amusement from Bronzebeak.
Meat buckler, if you will.
Sometimes it's better to miss the blows than take them.
I mean, he's also wearing, like, mail armor.
Yeah, but
Can I look around for like a more likely candidate to be a meat shield? Not, don't get me wrong.
You're looking for a beefcake, and there's that Bronzebeak's just like, no, I want the little man.
Yeah, I want to just look around and see if I can see any candidates there.
Arnold Schwarzenegger standing opposite.
Yeah, give me a
Schwarzenegger check.
perception. Yeah, give me a perception check. I like
19?
those.
20.
20.
I keep forgetting
20.
my
Oh yeah,
my
luck
stone
stone.
of luck. And I love it because I feel like it's really thematic. Yep, this is my lucky rock.
Yep, I found it one day on the ground. It's shiny.
Yeah, I found it.
Iridescent rock.
When I tossed this, I got so many skips on the lake. I figured that rock's just gotta be lucky. Went right down and up to my knees and fished it back up, and yep, here's my lucky rock. I don't know. I feel like it's a really thematic, lucky rock. 20.
20. Excellent. You as you're walking along, it's about 15 minutes. Let me just change real quick.
Don't you dare move out of the camera screen.
I couldn't resist. As Quincy is walking along, she'll definitely see. She sees a large Goliath-looking person. You know what? Yeah, you're right. It's really hard when also hearing your voice. Not gonna lie.
I don't have a man voice. I get you.
Yeah. As you're walking, Quincy sees a large Goliath-looking person, bald on top, tribal-looking tattoos, light blue, with a large greatsword. Seems to be muscular. Seems to be a beefcake. Not quite Arnold Schwarzenegger, but
he gets close. But can't all be Arnie. So Quincy will look around, tilt his head in that guy's direction. Well, what about him? And I point him out to Bronzebeak.
Hey, you now pronounced it.
Well, I I'm purposefully mispronouncing it.
Yeah,
as,
yeah.
You know, in character.
Out of character. Do we have 3 coins each, or is it collective?
Yes.
Okay.
You also pass by a large quantity of items
Mm.
that on the various pedestals and whatnot.
Anything for armor? Because there's no good magic items for Dex armor.
Just the one. Just the one. If you see snaky armor.
You don't see any. Yeah, give me another perception check.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, seeing Quincy like checking out this, looking for other more muscular, traditionally robust meat shields. Bronsby's like, he's settled on this halfling because
That's fine. Yeah, by all means.
and he's gonna pull out one of his coins, and I don't know how to spend it. He just puts it on his thumb and just flicks it upward towards the towards this
and
captured image.
As it hits him, there's a sudden. There's no like pause. There's no like warm up. Suddenly he's stabbing forward in that motion that was forever locked.
If you don't do an Irish accent, I'm gonna be disappointed.
I cannot do an Irish accent. And
all halfling Irish?
Yes, all halflings are Irish.
That is
no.
There you are. I was expecting that I'd be frozen in that state forever. Do you know how heavy it is to hold up the sword for that long? Ooh, my arms are like a wee noodle.
That is news to me.
Dwarves are Scottish. Halflings are Irish.
I know dwarves are Scottish. Yeah.
Sure.
Sorry,
what are
Vlad.
elves then?
French.
Nice.
Yeah. Snooty. Yeah. It's yeah.
I'm sorry. The halfling comes to life. I
the
apologize.
halfling comes to life. Finishes that motion. Stabbing forward. I'm assuming that Bronzebeak isn't stupid enough to be in the way.
Who
Yeah.
knows?
Yeah. No. I think you see where he is. He's standing to the side and bong, just flicking the coin towards him.
The coin, in fact, disappears as soon as it hits him. But he continues the motion and he looks around to all of you in a confused daze. What's going on? Who are you people?
Well,
I am Akalan. He just steps forward as if he was the one who has done anything about it. Just, basically not even quite realizing what had just happened. Well, someone's asking for introductions. He was happy to oblige someone confused. I'm Akalan. We're here on a task and we need your help. Will you follow us?
Fight your way free, and we'll see if we can get you out of this predicament.
He looks. Make a persuasion check.
Yeah.
Sure.
Fair.
Aklan, oddly enough.
Oh, okay. Go for it.
13.
13. He'll look to you guys. I mean, don't want to be stuck like that again. I suppose I'll help with whatever you need.
A
Do
wise
you know
decision.
anything? Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, so Akalan just confirms it's a wise decision, as he throws one of the coins in the air, and it seems to spin, but somehow suspiciously slow, and it also doesn't quite land at all. It just starts hovering in the air for a bit. So I'm using Mage Hand, which is invisible, to just keep it a bit more fantastic than it should be.
Adding flair.
Out of curiosity, is the orb which has been following us still visible somewhere nearby?
The flickering orb.
Oh, okay, cool. Wow. Sorry about that. So yeah, as you guys left, the collector gave you all 3 coins, and explained that the coins would allow you to temporarily either break his magic on something for your assistance, or to bring something back under his control.
Okay, I knew about the time magic part. I didn't know about his control part. Cool.
Yep.
Got it. Thank you.
So don't spend all of them.
Don't tell me
It's
what
alright.
to do.
We got 3 each. We got loads. We got loads.
They get 3 coins, just throw them.
Money, money, money!
Money, money, money.
I will definitely summon up one person myself, but I actually don't want a beefcake. I just was under the impression that that was what Bronzebeak wanted. I'm actually looking for a dependable person, preferably. That's what's really important for Quincy, loyalty. And if they've got healing powers, a big pope hat, that's
Big
bonus points.
Pope hat. Cool
like
beans.
a cleric type.
Cool.
Have you
yeah.
watched the anime adaptations of Dungeons and Dragons where there's the mousy little woman who is the cleric who goes, "I will protect you" or whatever? That.
Just looking for something
But, like
weedy.
I'm the white mage.
Yeah, like I said though, the dependable, loyal type is what's really important for Quincy.
Give me a perception check.
Hmm.
And I think Quincy. Oh, go on.
I was going to say, probably it's each of us have like a who are we watching out for as our chosen helper if we have 3 coins.
But yeah, Quincy will absolutely look around and say, "Oh, Mister, if you could kindly help me.
Oh, of course I will. What do you want me to do?
I'm looking for somebody who might be loyal to us rather than this collector." And he's not very happy saying the guy's name, but he carries on. Take you
Okay.
as the type to be a fairly good judge character. You could help me spot somebody you think might fit the bill. I'll be much obliged.
Sure. I can have a look.
Thank
And
you.
she starts walking and look at the frozen people.
I definitely need help because I rolled an 8, which brings it up to a 9.
So
You wanna?
roll a perception too?
Well, either you roll or I get advantage.
Let's go with advantage.
Yeah, take advantage. Won't go well.
That's better! Nat 20! Thank you very much for your help, Arrow, ma'am. I am much obliged.
The
Just
perfect companion.
walk, you're welcome.
Yeah, you walk into the person and you're like, "This one seems friendly," or I don't know what your character would say.
They didn't hit back. Must be friendly.
Yeah! There you go. So that's a 27 to find myself a white mage.
Cool. You do in fact find a caster-looking man. He's wearing robes with an emblem on them. Make a religion check.
Sure. You recognize this emblem on this feller? Any of you?
Yeah, well, I can help her with that.
Sure.
Thank you.
Cool. Give me 1 second to roll a couple things.
Yeah, while you do that, I will ask the halfling what his name is.
Oh god, Asubis. Thank you very much.
Asabus. Cool. Did you just pull that name out the ether? That's pretty cool.
Yes?
I like it.
Suitably thematic. It means bike in Greek, right?
No.
No, I'm joking.
That's Podilato, but okay.
Yeah, that was like super good. I was like super impressed by you
That was
now.
really specific. Yeah, I was like, what?
No, I'm looking at pictures of bike from Cass video and then you because you're Greek. Right. Well, not Greek.
Yeah,
you know.
you should combine the two,
Yeah.
Greek bikes. Ta-da!
Greek bikes.
You definitely recognize the symbol on his robes, although they kind of don't sit well with you. This looks like to be a priest of Bane.
Oh.
Oh.
What's that mean?
Should I know who Bane is?
Yeah.
Bane is a chaotic evil god of pain.
Oh god.
I don't want that.
The
Maybe-
white
Are there any other
priest.
clerics that I spot with a 28?
No, unfortunately not. This is the only
Okay.
cleric you spot.
Mischievous
And I
cleric.
get the impression that he might be loyal?
Does he have any contracts on him?
That was specifically what I was looking for, right? I was looking for a dependable, loyal individual, and if they might so happen to be a healer, great. But, I'm gonna question the loyalty of a cleric of chaotic evil pain.
Yeah. Use another coin. Send them back. Oh, presumably you only find out
Yes.
once they're freed, right?
No. You see, you see his emblems. You don't know how loyal he is. In fact, that's why you found a healer. Because their loyalty isn't particularly it's hard to tell from a frozen individual.
Okay, well, if I can't tell anybody else who might be the dependable sort, then sure, I'll look him over. And look at Era. Look back at him. Well, it's good enough for you, Miss Era. Now, take the coin. Oh, go on.
Well, I mean, even if he follows a bad god, doesn't mean he's bad. You never know. Some people are still nice. They can understand if we just free him. He'll be happy we free him from his paralysis thing. So yeah, go on.
Yeah, Quincy doesn't think Era is right, but he's gonna try anyway. So I will go ahead and take a coin, and I will try to sleight of hand it somewhere in the stone person's prison.
Cool. He will as it hits, there's that same freezing, that same looking around with wild eyes. He immediately holds the symbol that he has around his neck. It looks like a jeweled gauntlet. It's not actually jeweled, it simply looks like one. And he looks at all of you and says, explain yourself immediately.
First of all, howdy.
Hey there.
Yeah, just very calmly.
First of all, howdy.
Yeah. My name's Quincy. Quincy P. Morris. It's
What does the P stand for?
no, that's my mother's maiden name. But never mind that. It's my understanding that you're here because of a feller called a collector, and we're in need of some service. I used one of these here coins on yourself, and that's why you're here. You don't remember how you got here by any chance, do you?
He thinks, and I was, and he looks almost dazed, like it's hard to remember. I was at there was a ritual we were completing midnight
Uh-huh.
on the proper hour, and we had sacrifices, and the
I
people.
would just put my hand out protectively in front of Era and try and scooter a teensy bit behind me.
Quincy, I think we should freeze him back.
Alright, so at that I'll tell him, no, you heard the lady. There is a chance that I used one of these here to send you back to the... if it's any consolation, it does seem as though your ceremony was a success. The bad news is that it's landed you here. So, either you help us out, or Miss Sarah,
Okay.
or any one of my allies and me, I'll let you go on back to resting. You hear?
He takes a deep breath. Give me a persuasion or intimidation, depending on how you want to.
I suck at both of those.
That's fine.
Well,
But
technically she got an advantage if I just stare at the guy.
I'll give you advantage on intimidation, but not persuasion.
that's okay. I was gonna use intimidation.
I'm pointing a gun in his face.
I think that counts as intimidation, yeah. Would do it for me personally.
That's about right. I get a -2. I'm a creepy looking albino guy, so
that'll do
I
it.
figured charisma shouldn't be his thing, even though I usually end up being the one doing the most talking. I'm sorry. So an 11.
11. Okay. I also want to clarify. Bane is not the god of pain. That's a different one. Bane is the god of tyranny.
That's not better.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
it
not
might
better.
be. Hold on. If he's the god of tyranny, then this collector might actually be right up his alley because he seems like the tyrannous sort. So maybe the ritualistic sacrifice is actually what really did get him here. I was guessing, but now it seems to all be making sense.
It all adds up.
He'll look at all of you and he will. What's your guys' passive insight?
Mine will be decent. The rest
He's gonna try and kill us.
probably nature will be good as well.
19!
18.
18?
19!
Why
I'm
is-
a bounty hunter.
Why is your
so
passive
I gave myself
insight?
expertise in insight because I would need to know who I'm hunting. I
It's-
forgot.
Ridiculous.
I'm a good judge of character.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
Yeah. He looks at all of you and that's right. Are you expertise in insight?
I have expertise in insight.
Nice.
I'm a bounty hunter.
I like it. He'll look at all of you and he'll say, I will help your cause in any way I can. And he is very obviously lying to anyone above a 13 insight.
I'm
he
under
seem-
that, so I'm like, well, he said it.
Does he seem... I'm sorry, nature, Sam, do you guys have anything to add before I go on?
That is just a grunt of amusement.
I love
Yes.
I love the grunts from Bronzebeak. Sorry.
Bronzebeak, do you have anything to add? Cool, thanks.
Akalan would kind of just, watch him with a faint smile. He has known people like that. The coin still slowly spins in the air as that happens. He doesn't seem to be entirely focused on the man, but yeah, just like, anywhere you can then.
Okay, so, DM
Yes,
is
that's
very
me.
obviously lying, but
Yes.
he is not making any immediate moves to attack us. Is that right?
Nope. However, he does have his hand on his amulet, so that it's not like it would be a whole lot of extra movement for him to start casting.
Yep. Okay, so I calmly nod my head. Take a little step forward. Lean in real close. Lift my head. Now look here. Don't appreciate the lying. And I assure you, every word that I said has been accurate thus far. Fact is, if you ain't interested in being real loyal, then I ain't got any reason to not just send you right back. And at that, I would like to stealthily press a pistol against his ribs. Thank you.
Wow.
Cool beans. Actually, give me a short. Give me an initiative.
Okay.
All of us, or just Flair?
All of us.
All of us. Everyone,
Question.
initiative.
Question.
Oh,
Yes.
that is something.
What is
Oh.
it an action to use the coin?
Sorry, what was that? Yeah, let's say it's an action.
Okay.
There's only one of
exactly-
us who can respond.
I'll get back to you in 3 working days.
Yeah, exactly. With my -2 dexterity, yeah. I'll get
Sorry,
to you.
guys. I resurrected
I
a
got
bad
17.
guy.
Oh, guess what? He rolled a 5.
Oh, okay. All right. Even I beat him. I think that's Era first, though.
Yep. Tensions are rising as Mr. Quincy presses a gun towards him. He doesn't seem to back off. What do you do?
Oh my god. Well, do I see the gun pointed at the guy?
You did
Do you
say
wanna-
stealthily. How
Yeah, do you wanna
give me a sleight of
stealth
hand.
Because like he went to whisper in their ear. So like even if tension is rising up. Oh, 12.
Yeah, as long as you got a passive perception above 12, you see it.
I have a passive perception of 9.
Oh, shit. Wow.
I don't see anything.
That's entirely fair.
Yeah, it's the most
No, wait,
innocent. Sorry, go
Does
ahead.
Asubus get an initiative roll?
Jeez. Okay. Well, I guess I will hold my action. I'm just there staring, like looking at Quincy, the guy. I'm just super confused at everything's happening. That I can't
Sorry, guys.
attention, but I don't understand what's going on between. So I'm gonna hold it.
I mean,
Okay.
this guy's dangerous to me and my group, so can't have that.
Well, he lied, but Era felt that. Well, he said it. He doesn't lie. It's
Yeah, he seems like a nice guy. You bumped into it, he didn't bump back. What's the
She's
problem?
just confused. So yeah, that's gonna be the next one then, if I hold it.
I think there's only
Go Beans.
one playlist I can use for this situation.
Sure.
So I'll just skip forward to that.
You might have to clear and put it back in again. I think that's the easiest way to do it.
Okay.
Oh my
okay.
gosh, we found Wild West music! Yes!
Yeah, it's not often I get to legitimately use it. There we go. Cool. So who's up next?
I do not know. Yeah, I should probably get that
I
initiative
got it
order.
12, so I think it's me.
I think it is.
Yeah, it looks
Yeah.
like me.
You're next. Quincy, go ahead.
Okay. You said his hand is on a symbol?
Mm-hmm.
And I have placed my gun on his ribs.
Mm-hmm. But as you do so, there's a as things tend to heat up, there's a thought in the back of your mind. It's not a normal thought. It's a thought of fear. The thought to run away. That this is a bad person.
Okay,
It's
all right.
scary.
So it's not like, just to be clear, this isn't the collector being like, don't damage my stuff. This specific guy gives off that vibe. Like
This
my
specific
instinct-
guy gives off the worst vibes, and it gives
Okay,
off the
so
worst vibes to everyone.
All right, so my instincts.
Sorry, everyone within 5 feet. I apologize.
All right, so my instincts tell me not to take this guy lightly.
Yep.
So Quincy will. That's what I was gonna say. Does Halfling Dude get an initiative? There you go.
I made one up.
maybe.
He gets +3. He's at 13. I'll put him after you.
Oh yeah, you're writing the initiative.
I know. I just made one up. I don't know.
Okay, yeah, all right. I'm writing the everything else. That's and then him. Not Will. Quincy. But yeah, go on.
Okay, I'd like to shoot him in the ribs.
Cool beans. Give me an attack roll. Love
roll,
this.
roll for bullet in chest.
I will be worried
Sorry,
if you manage
sorry.
to
I
lift up.
apologize. Give me the attack roll at disadvantage.
No, am I actually feared?
Oh, it's a
His-
range
his-
attack in close combat, of course.
No, it's not.
It's
no,
not
no.
though. It's Boop boop boop. I'll
It's
copy
not
and
a
paste
ranged
it.
weapon.
No?
No, this is my
Whole knife?
psychic blades. My psychic blades is me manifesting psionic power as shimmening blades of psychic energy. So whenever I take the attack action, I make a blade, and it is a magic blade that is a simple melee weapon with the finesse and thrown properties.
Cool. Nice.
You can throw it. You don't have to.
Yep.
Quincy, then that's...
So at this, because fear.
Yep. I posted it up in one shot.
Okay, so it's still a 13.
Yep. That's bronze 7. Halfling 13.
Okay, so it basically makes everyone scared of who's within range.
Which is, of course, has to be Quincy because of, lore stuff. And then priest. That's not how you spell priest.
So does that hit the 13?
13 does not hit.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
I will then bring up my other revolver, spin it lightly, then point it at his casting hand. Actually, Vlad, can I try and do something weird?
Absolutely, I love weird things.
I would like to shove it in his mouth to keep him from speaking.
Cool beans. Give me an attack roll.
Okay.
Can't speak, you got bullets in your mouth.
It's another 13.
Oh wow. Yeah. As you try to stab him, he seems to have underneath his armors. There's that scrape against the metal. He seems to have some sort of mail underneath it. And as you try to reach over his amulet, he clutches it tighter and tighter.
Okay, so then as all that happens, I am going to trust my gut, because cowboy.
Of course.
And go ahead and I can't disengage. I used my bonus action. I will just speak and tell the others, this guy's bad news. When y'all use your coins to send him back, I will reimburse you. And that'll be my turn.
Cool beans. So after you is the halfling. Let's get an attack roll on
Did
halfling.
Era have a held action, or did I mishear her?
Yeah. What action did you hold?
Me?
Error. Yeah.
Yes.
I was holding a chill touch.
Cool.
I was super nervous, and I was just waiting to see what's happening. And now that shot were made, she's just gonna
I like it.
I freeze your face off.
Chill touch is a save or attack roll. I can't remember.
It's an attack roll.
It's like a creepy ghost, like
Yeah,
mummy,
it's a ghost
spectral hand.
She
That,
throws. Yeah.
yeah.
Man, that disadvantage is killing me. I have a +8 to my attack, so very sad cowboy.
Sad cowboy.
Oh.
Ooh, nice. So 23 to hit.
Maximum
Wow,
damage.
nice. I assume you aren't within melee of him. Yes.
No, I was a bit behind, especially because Quincy was holding their arm.
Yep. Sounds great to me.
Yeah. But sorry.
Yeah. So as the necrotic hand. Sorry. How do you want to describe your chill touch?
Well, she got super nervous because she could feel the tension growing and growing, and as the shot is made, she just tighten her whole stance and give a small movement of the hands in front of her, and you can see this odd skeletal undead hand, just ethereal a bit, flowing toward the guy, and grabbing his head, and as it grabs his head, it gets into him.
Nice. It smashes into his head, and there's that sizzling of of flesh, and there's this big even as the necrotic hand, it sticks to him but dissipates a little bit, but even then you can see a large hand mark on his face from it. He doesn't look particularly well from that. He is wounded.
Mm-hmm.
And can't heal, which sucks.
Exactly. That's what I was gonna say. Cannot heal until the start of my next turn.
It's a good spell to use against healing.
Yeah.
She was ready. She knew it was a cleric. Was like,
If you're a bad cleric, I take away your healing. Okay.
they heal people.
Then it's the halfling. The halfling, standing. Ooh, sorry, that's a disadvantage. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's. No, actually, no. Never mind. The halfling has been, kind of behind a little bit. Not entirely sure what's going on. So when everything seems to be, going sideways, he takes his spear, hefts it, and throws it right into him. Which hits for
This many.
the worst possible amount of damage. It's not a particularly. It hits him. It goes in deep, but he's quick to to reach down and break it off. He's
This is
still
a
wounded.
tough, evil cleric.
It was only 4 damage.
Oh. Oh, that's so sad. Okay.
Yeah. So he's taken a total of 20 damage.
Okay. So, does that bring us to Brunspeak turn?
Yep.
Okay. So, I think you finally will get to hear or see how he has his name. You hear this steady funk, clunk, funk,
You
clunk.
also have a bite attack?
Not quite. It is a steady funk clunk as he strides his way across. I assume he's within movement range of getting over to this guy.
Yes.
He casts Shillelagh, however it's pronounced, upon his quarterstaff. As he does so, there's this ripple of iridescent light that comes across his beak, which gradually takes on a bronze hue. His beak becomes a solid bronze, glowing beacon of light, and his whole quarterstaff takes on the same bright light, and he just swings it around and goes whack, and just tries to crack him across the face with it.
Excellent. Give me attack roll disadvantage, pretty please.
A disadvantage.
Because melee, because you're scared, because he's scary.
Oh, okay. Shill. This. That's not. Oh, that is at disadvantage. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. 23 still hits.
Lovely.
And 12. That's Ash
Yeah.
roll 12 plus. I can't math, so I'm gonna try.
That's all right. So,
plus
as I say, he strides forward and he takes on the literal namesake. So this bronze beak. His whole beak becomes glowing with bronze light, and he just cracks him across the face with his quarterstaff that's glowing in the same light, and just, this explosion of light washes out from him as it makes contact.
it whams into him, and he starts stumbling back. And he doesn't look. He's definitely wounded. But he's defiant.
What might need. Akalan. And he just looks at Akalan just like expectantly, this man who seems to be so high of his own opinions. That's it. And then the Wild West playlist I have has SpongeBob apparently, so deal with it.
It's good. It's good.
Excellent.
I like it. And let's see what he will do. Click.
It's so annoying. The rest of the playlist is like dramatic and good, but just this one song.
Did you say it's a playlist or it's like one of those hour-long videos?
No, it's a playlist. Yeah.
So then you can just skip this one?
No, if I do force skip, it'll skip the whole thing. Apparently.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah. You just stuck with it. I could make a custom playlist. I should.
He will look at between the two people who've attacked him the most. He'll look at between Era and Quincy. He'll grasp that amulet, and you'll say something in a dark, almost demonic word, an abyssal.
Is
in
it
fact,
abyssal?
it is abyssal.
I can understand abyssal.
You hear the word. You hear it's almost like a phrase. Let the terror of the night blind my foes.
Well, you know what? This music is perfect for that because, oh my gosh, SpongeBob.
Exactly. Give me a DC 15 con save, Era and Quincy.
I pass.
Nice.
At this because of fear, or does fear not affect saves?
Let me look.
And I will quickly close the door because Comet's decided he's joining us.
Aww. Oh wow. Yeah, it's disadvantage on saving throws too. Yeah, it's also disadvantage on saving throws.
Okay.
Attack rolls and saving throws within 5 feet.
I fail with the second roll.
So as the words hit your ears and you understand what's being said, your eyes blacken over. Era's eyes get double black.
Is that even possible?
Black as void, and you can't see anymore. You are blind.
Oh, that's not good. Well, she do start freaking out at that very moment and scream her lungs out.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's his turn, and then Aklan.
Right. So I suppose up to this point he was standing a bit further back from this man, sort of just observing as the battle just begins out of nowhere. He does hear the words from Quincy. It's just the coin that seems to be floating in the air. He just goes ahead and tosses that at our perp. So he doesn't even touch it. It just hovers a bit in the air and flies right at the cleric.
Give me a attack roll.
Okay. Would that be same as typical spell one?
It would be a range attack roll, so no, it would be dexterity.
Oh no. That makes it a lot worse. I'm not proficient with it, I assume.
Nope.
14.
14! 14 does not hit.
So the coin flies past the target.
And clambers to the ground.
Yeah, as I see that it completely misses, he just scoffs at that and starts walking towards the coin. But as he passes behind the cleric, some parts will try and yank him backwards from everyone else. So I'd like to shove him towards me. Of DC
action to throw coin.
Bonus action to shove.
Excellent. All right, cool.
So DC 16 strength, be moved 5 feet away from everyone in his range.
Boop, boop, boop. What is his strength? He has +4. Hot damn, he's a strong guy.
That happened.
Oh no.
I said that I don't like him.
Yeah, sorry about that, Kath.
Oh, it's alright.
That is an 18.
So even though, the coin flies by, he does feel the pressure on him. He manages to keep his place, and Alan just kind of passes behind him and leans down to pick up the coin.
Sure, that's cool.
And that's the end of turn then.
Cool beans. Then after your turn is someone's?
Quincy again, I think.
I think it's Era at the top.
Yes,
Yeah,
it is
I'm
in
at the
fact
top.
Era.
Yeah, sorry.
You are blind. Anything that requires you to see a target, you cannot do, and any attack roll, just regardless, is a disadvantage.
I'm pretty sure most of my spells need me to see someone.
Yeah, most spells do.
Yeah, that's why he did it.
How dare you!
He's evil.
Jeez. Well. Well, she can't do any of her spells because of that. Well, what she'll do... She's not a buffer, she's someone who... bonks.
He's a bonker.
She's a bunker, and right now she's freaking out because she's blind. She doesn't see where she is. She hears the same thing in her head as usual, so she's just gonna take her quarterstaff and start hitting, like, in front of her.
That's double disadvantage.
All right. Shit. Okay, so I'm not used to do melee attacks on Avery. Is that it? Oh, this. Sorry.
What is that bludgeoning? What's going on?
It's a quarter stuff, right? Isn't that bludgeoning?
Yeah.
So I hit at disadvantage. 20.
Yeah, 21 hits
Damn.
for one entire damage. I like it.
So she's just like holding her quarterstaff, screaming her lungs out, freaking out, and just hitting
Damnation,
her
woman.
as hard as she can, but she's weak, so it doesn't hit that hard. There's will in it.
Dramatic flailing incurs.
Yep.
Alright.
Oh, sorry if I yelled. So then,
And,
touch it.
yeah. That's it?
Yeah, sounds like it.
Alright, so...
Then it's Halfling's turn.
Quincy?
Maybe. Isn't...
No, he rolled better than you in the original initiative, but it was too late.
rolled better than me?
Uh-huh.
Damn
Yeah.
outfit.
I'm sorry. Hey, Duck Albert, could you give me the ability to pin messages?
Yeah, well, I'll pin yours for now, and then I'll figure out how to do that at a later date. But yes.
Just, promote me to the greatest thing, as it should be.
Let's just make him an admin for now. But Vlad don't peek at other things and then he'll take it away.
That's a miss on. He runs forward to grab his spear, and he grabs it from the ground and tries to jab into him, but the fear is too much, and he fails miserably. That was a that too.
Oh. Stop a lot.
Quincy, your turn.
Alright. He blinded and partly deafened in one ear because of Era. How do you do flanking, Vlad? I never
Not
asked.
at all. In fact, if you mention the words, you're instantly disintegrated.
I like flanking giving advantage. I know that lots of people complain about the way that 5e rules are, but...
And I will happily go into an hour-long tirade about how flanking is the worst optional rule to ever have been, created later.
Yeah.
Okay.
To each their own.
Sure. Meanwhile, I can't see him,
Nope.
but I was in melee of him.
Yes. He's not the quietest individual. There's, a light chanting that tends to go with him. It's ominous Latin chanting, of course. And so, you have a pretty good idea of where he's at, so attacks at disadvantage.
Okay.
Double disadvantage, because why not? not a thing, but why
I
not?
would like to take a coin and just smack it on his face.
Cool beans. Give me an attack roll disadvantage. Do, 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 do. 11? Sorry. As you swing forward, he's hard to see. He's hard
Play
to
pin the tail on the donkey with this guy.
exactly pin the coin on the evil priest. And yeah, you swing at him, but he just dodges out of the way. Or at least you assume he does. So you're just connecting air. You can't see a thing.
Okay.
Sorry.
And that was what? Is that an
Action.
attack?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's an attack
Would you
action.
say it counts as a light weapon? It's a coin.
Sure, why
I'm just-
not?
Sure. I'll try and then stab him in the neck with a dagger.
Yeah, sure. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Disadvantage.
Oh.
Why?
This wasn't supposed to be a difficult battle. I'm sorry.
What are these rules? I stab myself and end my suffering.
Unfortunately, with the nat 1, you missed yourself.
You miss the air.
I can't even do this right.
I'm useless. I cannot even hit myself.
Yeah, I'll just flail and be very uncool.
Bronzefeet, go.
How long
Okay.
am I blindfold? Can I still
A
disengage?
minute.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's gonna last
jeez.
a while.
Okay.
I'm
For
gonna
a
disengage
while.
and back off slightly since I can't see, and try
You-
and take the screaming arrow with me.
Will you actually disengage or just actually back off?
I can't do either because I used my bonus action and I keep
Mhm.
forgetting that.
You probably
Because
just
you'll get
stuck.
an attack of opportunity.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, and I don't want one.
Because he has a big old mace. It's an evil-looking mace too, unsurprisingly.
Yeah.
I will try and back off. As far as Quincy knows, he doesn't have an advantage on me at the moment. I will try and back off and take her with me. I don't know what that's gonna be like, if she moves on her turn or what, but he's just gonna reach out to try and take her by the arm and move away from this dude.
She's
Let
screaming
me-
so loud. Of course.
Yeah,
you
I imagine I can just. Okay, woman. Just this,
And
this way.
unfortunately, attack rolls against the creature have advantage with blinded.
That sucks.
AC sure does.
16.
We're in trouble,
You said
guys.
16. Let's R 1d20 plus stuff. That's a hit. Let me roll some damage.
Gonna undo
This is
all
gonna
my
be a one
healing.
shot after all, because
We're all gonna die anyway.
yeah, from this one damn cleric.
This time-locked cleric.
You know,
Uh,
just because my character has high wisdom, obviously doesn't mean that I have high.
Right. So he hits you with his mace, and you can feel it. You know what it is, what it was, and it hits you. And while the actual impact of it doesn't hurt that much, it starts to burn and sizzle. You take 4 necrotic damage and 4 bludgeoning and 6 necrotic.
It's 10 total.
I'm just checking. Yeah, an attacker that I can see, so I can't uncanny dodge. Sorry, how much was the total? I don't have resistance to any of it.
10.
10. Okay. And I'll just vampiric hiss as I back off from this guy. Am I able to move Era at least?
Sure.
Yay!
Get them out of melee. Okay.
Yeah.
So Brunsby, he's just watched this guy just going to town on his two companions. and they're desperately retreating away, blinded by him, and he's just staring at him like. And they're just he's got his quarterstaff in hand, sort of wields it in hand, and then just jabs it forwards. This time it's not the same like crack that was across the face as before, because he's not looking wounded or anything yet, right?
He's wounded.
Oh, he's wounded. Okay.
The last bonk with your last quarterstaff wounded him.
Okay. But he's not looking out for the count or anything. So he just readies the quarterstaff and just like, you best lay down. This will go much easier. And he just raises the quarterstaff overhead and just slowly brings it down as if he's going to clonk him in the head, but getting ready for him to drop in anticipation of it as a command. It's his Fey spell.
Nice. What's the save?
DC 17.
DC 17? Hot damn.
He's got wisdom +5 plus his moon sickle, which he just ignores. It's just on him.
Guess what? Priests have saving against wisdom.
Priest on priest. Well, priest on cleric. Priest on druid.
He still fails.
Hey.
So at the beginning of his turn, he will go prone.
Yeah, exactly. So he's like, basically what's happening is he's got his quarterstaff overhead and he's bringing it slowly down. If he doesn't on his turn go prone, he'll get clonked on the head. But it's almost like a sort of priestly like blessing, but a very bad one. Getting ready for him to drop on his turn. He has to use his action to go prone.
Yep, sounds good to me. Which then makes it Aklan.
Right, so I would most likely collect the coin that had rolled onto the ground.
Yep.
And walk back to this man, kneel down
No,
next to him.
I'm sorry. After Bronzebeak is the priest, in which he then drops prone.
Oh, sorry, it's his turn. Right, so he's now prone. Yeah, gotcha.
Yep.
And then we're back to Aklan, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Excellent. I'm still collecting the coin off the ground that I had just missed with.
Mm-hmm.
I will walk up to this man, kneel down next to him, and instead of actually, trying to toss it at him, I'm going to press him against.
Cool beans. Give me an attack roll with advantage.
Let's have a look. That's going to be 18 to hit.
Okay, all right. Because you don't get a 28 to hit. 18 hits. As you press the coin into him, the coin dissipates and he freezes, absolutely stunned, in the prone position, looking up towards Aklan, full of hate. Both Era and Quincy can see this. As soon as he becomes stunned, his spell fizzles.
That is good, because technically it could not fizzle.
He is incapacitated and cannot concentrate.
Okay, fair.
Thank God.
So Aklan just looks up. Oh, wasn't too hard. One coin to set him free. One coin to imprison him. And I've still got 2 more coins, as one of them starts once again slowly rotating in the air. So is whoever was following and observing us, the orb, still at least visible somewhere within the vicinity?
Give me a perception check, because it's really hard to see unless you're looking for it. Sorry, It's really hard to see even if you're looking for it.
Not so hard.
21. You are fairly sure that it has not observed you during the entire fight.
Interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, in that case, I'll just continue spinning the coin in ways that physics says shouldn't be possible, but I'm going to do it nonetheless.
Yeah, not so hard. Sorry about that. And I will just... the coin that I was holding, reach out and hand it over to Aklan.
Many thanks. And that coin just follows the first one, spinning around the hand.
And I am down to 1.
Well,
Ask a question.
that could have been worse. She says as she just like stands up and I can see again.
You all right? You all right?
I guess so. I really thought they took my sight away because I did something bad. But it's that guy, so that's good.
I reckon that. Wait, who's they?
She stays quiet for a moment and says, "Doesn't matter. It's just good that we're all okay."
All right.
Hmm.
Thanks for the help. Tips his hat to everybody. Mighty thankful. I figure that's me done fiddling around with getting these folks to come with us. Of course, I appreciate the help there. Asibus, was it?
Yes, that is me.
Thank you kindly. And I am done trying to find the follower, because that went really badly. Yeah.
This is what you get for asking the weird lady to help you out finding someone.
To be fair, I knew what deity he worshipped, but I figured I'd give it a chance anyway.
Yeah. So I
Fair
think
point.
Bronzebeard just sort of grumbles for a few moments. Let's trust to those we think are easy to bring on our side, shall we?
I apologize for the time and how long various things took. But it is 2:00. 2:00 my time. Is it time for you to go, Miss Kath?
Well, the max, like I said, 3 my time, so 2 your time, but I can still stay for an extra 30 minutes, but I have something at 4, so...
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, but like, after that, after like 30, I would have to leave.
Yeah.
But also, are we going to finish in 30 minutes?
No, and
Yeah.
that's the thing.
We're probably not
So-
going to start and resolve an entire combat in that time. So
No,
Exactly.
do you guys wanna... I mean, Vlad, if you're happy to... maybe
This is
finish...
a remarkably nice stopping point.
yeah.
It also you don't have to worry about running out of time.
Yeah, because people are coming to my apartment, so it would be like a shame if like 5 people came in and like...
We all join in.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Before we wrap up and finish, do you guys want to finish this section? So, like, if Bronzebeak or Era or Aklan want to try and find a follower before we move on, or do you guys want
Sure.
to stop?
I wouldn't be looking for a follower. If anything, I was
Really?
hoping to toss.
Aklan's not gonna look for a follower?
Well, we
No.
looked for a while and we made a couple perception check to find legit people, and this is what we got. So
There is that Goliath.
yeah,
I was personally hoping to toss a coin at the orb following us just to turn it off, but yeah, if it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah, I've got my my half thing. I'm happy.
Okay. You guys are sure nobody wants Arnie the Goliath? How friendly
No.
does he look, Vlad?
yeah, exactly. That's
give
the
me
point.
give me an insight check.
Okay.
A frozen person.
Frozen Arnold
Now I roll
Schwarzenegger.
well.
There we go.
25. 26.
25.
I keep using my
Yeah.
rock. Rock.
He looks angry at the moment. But you're not entirely sure that it was because he was angry when he was frozen. It's hard to tell his, demeanor for,
I mean, okay, with a 25, like, what's his physiognomy? What are the characteristics on a person's face that give you... I mean, I don't know. Have you ever looked at somebody and gone, I don't like you? And it's not for any reason, just that, and
you like him.
yeah, you just get like a gut feeling about somebody. Is there any of that at all?
Yeah, you get a gut feeling that you like him. That he looks to be a strong and simple guy.
Okay, so I'm gonna look to the others. I'm gonna point at him and be like, right, well, seeing as I'd rather not get my tail handed to me again, I'm gonna try it with this feller. But that's only under the situation here that one of y'all don't mind putting him back in his place in the case that he turns out like. And I point at the wounded, like, angry, evil cleric.
Well, I have all my coins, so if something happens and I don't go blind again, well, I could be able to do something.
Right. So long as y'all are happy with it.
You've
There was
got yourself a deal.
Well, he seems like a nice guy.
Yeah, I like him.
Just looking him
I
up
give
and
him
down,
credit.
this hulking Goliath guy who's strapped with muscles, is it? But it's like he's still.
Was that
like-
a longing? Was that like a...
No.
Oh my.
Oh my.
Yeah.
No, he's just grunting, and he's still glowing bronzely from his shillelagh is still active. And he's just like, okay, we'll give this a try. And then he just strides over to put himself ready to shillelagh this guy into the ground if needs be.
Okay, so then, yeah, I'm just gonna give him the coin.
As the coin touches his shirtless chest.
Yeah, I just hit him on a peck or something.
Exactly. It dissipates into nothing, and he slowly it's not slowly, but he seems to be like he doesn't like jump like it was a surprise. It's more like what? And he looks to all of you. He starts reaching to the back in which he has a large two-handed maul.
Easy, friend.
And he kind of keeps the hand kind of like hovering, like I'm not touching it, but I can.
I'm not touching it. I'm not touching it.
Exactly.
We're nice. We just wanted to help you out, and we brought you back from your curse.
Does anyone speak
last
giant?
time I tried that,
Oh.
it didn't work out.
Nope.
Nope.
He starts
Can
speaking.
I tell that he... Yeah, there you go. If I can tell that he can't speak, however, there is something that I can do about that.
Yeah, he starts speaking in a language that none of you understand. It's a low, rumbling language. It sounds like a language that's meant to be bellowed from mountaintops.
It's like Tibetan throat singing.
Sure. It's giant. It's very much giant.
Uh-huh. Right. Let me try this. Oh, everybody, don't be alarmed. I will use... Well, I can't use everybody because I can only do my proficiency modifier. I will choose Bronzebeak, Era, and Giant Friend for my psychic whispers and establish a telepathic communication between us.
Nice. Read that off for me exactly, because I've never heard that ability.
Okay.
It's posted up in spam.
Yeah, sorry, that makes more sense. Yep.
A creature can't use this telepathy if it can't speak any languages. However, you and the creature don't need to speak a common language to understand each other.
Cool. Awesome. And within 1 mile of each other. Okay, alright.
It's a really cool ability. I really like Soul Knife Rogues so far, but I haven't played them at higher levels, so I can't tell you for sure.
Cool. I mean, I wanted to be this higher level, but whatever.
You'll
We
get
can
there.
level up for the next one shot of this one shot if you want. We did kill something.
You'll get there.
Okay, yeah, sure. I'll think about it. But
Level 7 rogue is nice.
yeah. You look at he looks at you as you start hearing he continues talking, and you have no idea what he's saying. But as he's talking
in giant,
in
I will
giant,
telepathically tell him.
but
howdy.
as he's talking, he'll go. That's an interesting ability, sir.
Uh-huh. And in my mind, giant is just my voice, but deeper. Well, I'm afraid I can't understand a word you're saying. I don't speak your language, but lucky for me, I got this interesting skill here. I assure you, sir, I ain't interested in harming you, provided that you ain't interested in harming none of us. Matter of fact, it should use your help.
What's going on?
What?
Nothing.
That was a weird reaction.
Natridge is Natridge.
So I'm just whispering stupid stuff to people.
And it's great. It just really got me.
Okay, you wrote mowing grass right outside my window. I'm dyslexic and read moving grass right outside my window. So
That
I
would
just
be
imagine
even
you outside, somebody outside your window, like.
All right. So we're pacifying the Goliath.
Yes. The Goliath looks to you all and says, in his mind, or in your mind, he says, "All right, I think I can help."
Sure is
Yeesh.
helpful of you.
Point me in the right direction, and we'll get it done.
Sounds good. Now offer him my glove for a handshake.
And he'll take it. And you know what? Give me a bravado strength check.
Do you get lifted off the
Can I
ground?
give you acrobatics instead?
Nope.
Yeah. Depends if
Alright,
you want to
sure.
flip over him as he lifts you off the ground.
Strength or athletics? It
Uh,
doesn't make a difference. Never mind.
Yeah.
While you do this, Era just turns to Bronzebeak and she asks, "Can you also hear the voice in your head?"
I got a 0.
That is amazing. Let's see how good he rolls.
So, can you
Okay,
hear the
cool.
voices in my head? And then the other person's like, I have 0 strength, so.
No, but Era is asked that to Bronzebeak.
Oh, right.
Oh, Quincy's like talking, well, just gave the hand to the Goliath. She's just like, "Do you also hear the voice in your head?" Just want to make.
And poor Ackland is the only one who can't. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'm just watching this with. Excuse me, what?
Like, yeah, as this all started, there's like a widening of his eyes, like. And just like. Sort of, his long neck just reclines a little bit into his shell. He's just shrinking slightly. He's just uncomfortable with someone invading his thoughts.
Well,
Yes.
Quincy will answer the question in your minds. Yep, I warned you. It's just a skill of mine. In your heads.
I don't like it.
Yeah, it's great. You don't need to be a
Okay.
willing creature or anything.
But yeah, as Quincy gives out a hand, the Goliath gives his own hand. It almost entirely engulfs his hand, and it's a strong grip. He's not putting like extra effort into it to crush hands, but it's definitely like, yeah, I'm strong.
Yeah.
And Quincy will just very calmly respond with, "Ow." That's it.
All right. Was that a
Announcement.
wow or an ow?
An ow.
Ow. Ow.
Announcement of pain.
Yeah.
And he just nods, looking between all of them, and then looks at him like, it seems our friend has invasive minds. And he just squints over at Quincy. Didn't even ask for permission, just invaded his brain.
Yeah, I'll tilt my head and respond in your minds with, there ain't no need for that. Just a handy way to carry on a conversation. Plus side is, there ain't no floating green orbs that can listen in on this. And then out loud we'll just say, "Sorry, Ackland," as though he knows what we're talking about.
So honestly, at that explanation, Ackland seems to calm down considerably.
No. The explanation was in their minds.
No,
He
the
only
explanation-
said sorry out
explanation
loud.
from Bronzebeak.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
It's only the weak minds that got invaded. Oh, that's fine.
No, that's alright.
Very good.
Jeez.
Well, I don't like it very much, but it can be useful. I think there's enough people in my head. So I would have preferred if you would have before. Just
You see how high my eyebrows raising? People in your head. Right. Let's carry on.
all right.
If that's alright with all y'all, that is.
Too late now.
Was that also a question in the mind? Or-
That one was out loud. That part was, if you all are ready, let's move on. Out loud, spoken words. And
Well-
also in the Goliath's mind specifically, because no common.
Well, unless you want to gather bigger of an army here, I think we're all ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little Beak would settle on. Sorry, go ahead, Era.
Oh no, go ahead.
I was gonna say, Little Beak would settle on the Goliath's shoulder because he's the tallest. It's best vantage point.
And he has wide shoulders to sit on.
Exactly. But yeah, I think we're good.
will let the Goliath. Yeah, I will let the Goliath know. Bird likes biscuits.
He'll look at him. He's not wearing much. He doesn't have a backpack, so he's like, keep that in mind.
I'll feed him with the non-stuff I have.
Yay. So, okay, that's, yeah, if everybody's happy, we move on from that area and continue this at some point, maybe.
Yeah.
Hopefully so.
That was a lot of fun, you guys. That was a lot of backstory for a one shot, which I absolutely just adore. I love characters like this. All of you, it's great.
I feel like
Yeah.
Quincy is making Era go, I like this guy. I don't like this guy. I like this guy. I don't like this guy. He loves
can
me.
make
He
up
loves
her
me
mind.
not. He loves me. He loves me not.
Yeah, exactly. She was like, "Oh, he's nice," and now he's in her head, and she's like, "Oh no, I don't like that."
See, the best way to do with the Era Quincy relationship is fight, kiss.
Yeah, that was fun.
I'll be
Maybe
looking
we
forward to
can-
session 2 of this.
Yeah, session 2 of the one shot.
No, this is session 0.5. All right, it'll be
Yay!
its third.
Oh, so we're just gonna work our way up to 1. So that was
Exactly.
0.1. We're gonna go on to 0.2.
Exactly. All right.
If it goes on too long, we're gonna go 0.9.5.
Exactly. All right. It's just one session, split between several days. It's fine. I don't make time mistakes. It's fine.
Well, of course, just like 3 hours to do a one shot, that's not enough. Like, you would have, like,
Really.
to just send us
Impossible.
to a big fight and that's it.
Yeah, which I didn't want to do because I like talking, and so do you guys, and it's great.
Yeah. Right. Well, so welcome. Thank you, Kat, for joining. Yeah,
Welcome. It was very fun.
it was really good fun. And yeah, Vlad, thank you for running. Yeah, I think next time we'll pick back up on this. Whoever's whatever circumstance it arises from.
And that's one of the convenient things is that if we have a different amount of people, then next time oh hey, you see this guy, you use a coin, and there's that
We
person.
decided not to pick that one up, sorry.
Sorry, DM Fiat. It happens.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah. Well, so thank you very much, everyone, for joining. It's good fun. Yeah, thank you, Vlad, for running. Thank you, Gav, for joining, and thank you, Flair, for Nature, and for always joining. And yeah, we'll pick back up next week where we'll be concluding the fight of the the monster festival of the Harvest Close Festival. We'll see what happens there. And yeah. Cheers,
I also
everyone.
want to put a special congratulations, special accolade or whatever to Flair for actually dressing up slightly.
For the hat.
I'm really worried every time you guys said Thanks, Flair. Thanks, Flair, for screwing up the fight. Thanks, Flair, for summoning an evil cleric. Damn, Flair, can you roll higher than a 2? Apparently not.
No.
Never.
Which
For the
means,
hats.
which means, Ackland, why don't you have an incredibly fancy Aztec headdress? I disappointed in you.
I am
Is
also
it Aztec
disappointed.
or Native American?
So it's more akin to Aztec ones. So it is much more bright colored than Indian ones would be.
Oh, hey, good news. If we continue, I might actually finish my sketch of
That
Quincy
would
for
be
the next
amazing.
one. Yeah.
I see it.
There you go.
And I'm also very keen to see a session 2 because I'm also interested how this character works combat-wise. And so far the combat was, I flick a coin at him. Toss a coin
Yeah.
at your cleric.
I use my Fey magic to cast command. Done.
I went blind. So
Yeah.
I caused it!
Yeah, exactly. Wow.
went great.
So we'll pick back up on that at some point in the future.
Mhm.
Yeah. Cheers, everyone. I need to go eat food because it is food time in the UK. Thank you, everyone, and enjoy. See you, everyone. Bye.
Bye.